On the air, online, covering the Treasure Coast. Get connected with the Get Up and Go show. And now here's your host, Evan and Bonnie.
.607 on the Get Up and Go show. It's a Monday. We're back at it. Weekend has gone by. It blew by, and gosh only knows where Saturday and Sunday went, right, Bonnie?
Yeah, it seemed to go by fast. I don't know. Yesterday kind of crawled for me. It was weird. It's like overall the weekend went by fast, but for some reason, I was even coming home from the grocery store at 12:30 yesterday afternoon, and it felt like it was 4 o'clock already.
Wow.
Probably because of how dark and nasty and rainy. It got really dark all of a sudden.
What'd you get at the grocery store?
New York strip steaks.
Oh, those are the best.
Yeah.
That and ribeyes.
Yeah.
You don't go for the cheap crap, do you?
I don't.
I like that.
4 of them for like $13.82.
That's not bad.
I think they were on sale, but they're nice and, kind of, they're like that half inch or more thick New York strip steak that I found. They had tenderloin there too, Evan. They had like I swear it was like almost 2 feet of tenderloin.
Yeah, that's the filet mignon. Oh, and when you buy the whole tenderloin, it's much cheaper that way. That is the best cut of beef that you can buy. The best cut. You don't even need a knife to cut it.
Wow.
You're talking about you went to Publix, right?
This was Winn-Dixie.
Okay. So the tenderloin, when you buy the tenderloin, it's usually about 15 or 16 bucks a pound.
Yeah.
When you buy it in bulk like that. But when you buy the actual steaks themselves already cut up, it's like $21, $22 a pound. So what we do is we wait for the tenderloin to go on sale at our local grocery store. We'll buy the whole tenderloin, and then we'll have the butcher in the back. He'll cut it up for us.
Yeah.
And then we're good to go.
They're just ready to take home, put in the freezer, some to freeze and some to cook that night.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you like your steak cooked?
Medium.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like mine mooing.
You like it bloody?
I like it mooing. It has to moo.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It has to moo.
Wow.
If it's not mooing, if I get a dead cow, I'm not happy.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
I never thought of it that way.
Yeah.
What's your favorite kind of steak?
I like, of course, I like filet mignon. I like the ribeyes and the New York strips. Top sirloin would be number 4 in the list. Because it's a little, not as tender as the other ones.
Right.
We actually cooked some, to think of it. We also made homemade burgers. We had a big thing of chopped meat in the ground beef, as some people call it. We call it chopped meat. It was in the deep freeze out in the garage. We took it out, defrosted it, and we made some burger patties on the grill. Yeah. So I was grilling all weekend.
That sounds delicious.
I'm the grill daddy.
Are you? Do you like to grill?
Love to grill.
Yeah,
definitely.
I enjoy it too. I even like to take the kids in the backyard and make them s'mores once in a while.
Oh, that's a lot of fun.
And I have the charcoal grill going, so when the charcoal flames get hot, I just have them take their pokers and with the marshmallows and kind of roll it around, get the marshmallows nice and brown. And
I like that.
Throw it on some Hershey's.
That's a great idea. So what do you cook with your steak? What did you have with your steak?
We didn't make any steaks yet. I just kind of bought them.
Oh, I thought you grilled them. You just bought them.
I bought them.
Oh, okay.
I froze them for now. So we're probably going to have them.
You could just salivate over them while they're in the freezer.
Maybe like Wednesday.
Think about that. Okay.
I don't know what to make with it. Usually I like a side dish of maybe potato salad or baked potato.
We'll do a baked potato. We'll buy, I like the sweet potato. So we'll get a sweet potato and the wife will like a baked potato. We'll take a knife and we'll poke about 8,000 holes in the baked potato, stick it in the microwave for about 15 minutes, and boom, done and over with.
Those sweet potatoes are good too.
Oh, they're delicious.
But I'm shameful with them. When I heat up like a sweet potato, like if I have leftovers too, I'll heat that thing up in the microwave.
Okay.
And I just have to glaze it in butter and pour on the salt.
You're a salt kind of girl.
A lot of butter and salt on there.
Now see, the wife, she likes sour cream and butter.
Yeah.
She doesn't like chives. But I mean, I'm telling you, we're talking, she'll have a little sweet potato with her sour cream.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying. Yeah. I like a little baked potato too, usually with my sour cream.
Okay.
When I have a baked potato, we're out to eat. It's like, more sour cream, please.
Yeah, they bring that little souffle cup.
Yeah.
And Rachel looks at the waitress like, can you just bring the whole jar, please?
Uh-huh.
Because she loves her sour cream.
I took your advice from Friday.
What'd you do?
When we went to Chick-fil-A, I
Right.
ordered the mac and cheese.
Right? Tell me, how was it?
Very good.
To die for,
That was
right?
a good mac and cheese.
Right? Probably the best you've ever eaten.
Well, it comes close to the mac and cheese that I've had at Longhorn Steakhouse.
Okay.
Because when I have that alongside my steak, they bring out this mac and cheese at Longhorn that kind of has that smoky flavor going.
Okay. All
like
right.
that'd been sitting right by the steak on the grill.
Okay.
So it comes close to it.
All right. But
Yeah.
you did like the Chick-fil-A mac and cheese, though.
I did, and I got them instead of the waffle fries in
Okay.
lieu of waffle fries.
Get a little substitution action.
Yeah.
Okay.
And usually waffle fries are a favorite.
Yeah, waffle fries are good.
They have the sweetest iced tea there.
I think my kid went to Chick-fil-A like 5 times this past week.
Did he?
Yeah, he loves his the little chicken nuggets
Yeah.
at Chick-fil-A and the waffle fries. He enjoys that.
I thought of him when we were going through the drive-thru.
Did you really?
I remembered you telling me your boy
Okay.
likes to go there.
Okay.
Is your Chick-fil-A? Do you go to the one in
Probably
St.
the one
Lucie
that,
West?
yeah, it's the one that you go to in St. Lucie West.
Okay.
One of our family members, one of our in-laws, they work there.
Okay.
That's my daughter-in-law's sister, Jalissa. She works there at Chick-fil-A.
Oh, does she?
Yep.
They have a great group of kids there.
Yep.
I'll tell you, you go through their drive-through and their operation is so well set up, and the kids servers taking your order and everything.
Yep.
The nicest, some of the nicest kids you'll ever meet.
I was online watching a something from our church this past weekend, and our church went to our Publix in Tradition.
Oh.
And during the senior hours, they went in there and they bought like almost everybody's groceries.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Your church, your
Our
congregation
church, yeah,
did
Christ
that.
Fellowship did that. Yeah. They went in and bought almost like everybody's groceries for senior hour.
Really?
Oh, yeah. That's the stuff our church does. And Gavin actually made the highlight reel and was on TV. So there's his picture right there
Look
with his mask on working.
Look at that.
He actually was working when that happened.
How sharp is that?
Right?
That's a nice photo
Yep.
too. I think you showed me a photo of it was another nice photo where his teacher had gone through his lane.
Yeah.
And
Well, his one of his youth pastors.
Okay.
Yes. Abrielle.
Uh-huh.
That's Pastor Ricky's wife. They were in there as well. That's all when that happened. All that was when that all happened.
You have a big congregation at your church, don't you?
We have like 5 campuses or 6 campuses.
That's huge.
It's crazy. Tens of thousands of people.
Yeah. So Christ Fellowship, is it like Christian? Like
That's a
Christian?
non-denominational, so anybody can come.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping soon, because I talked to Pastor Travis, who's our campus pastor. I'm hoping to get somebody on from our church that handles what's called the missions
Okay.
to talk about what they're doing in the community, because our church goes around to various places. They'll go to the hospital ER rooms and they'll feed all the employees. They'll bring food.
Wow.
They'll bring care packages. Our worship team they'll come with a big truck and they'll open up the big back of the truck, and there's like 2 or 3 piece members of our worship band, and they'll play right there in the parking lot for all the nurses and the doctors and the practitioners and all the frontline workers and stuff like that.
That's a
So
really
they're just
nice
trying
way.
to take all the pressure off of everything that's going on.
Nice way for you to get involved too if you want to volunteer. I suppose.
Yeah, they so many people serve at our church. It's I can't even begin to tell you how many people volunteer there.
Yeah. You probably don't even know like all the members at your church.
Oh,
right?
I don't. There's
Yeah.
I know a lot of people there because I've been going there since almost day one with my wife. So we know a lot of people there at the church. One big happy family there. And I can't wait for our family to get back together.
You know what I was thinking just like last week, because normally I work on a Sunday, and now the last 4 Sundays I've had off. And I'm thinking, maybe this week I would like to go to church. And then I'm thinking, I can't go to church because their doors are shut.
You can
It's kinda
go.
like
You can go to virtual church.
Virtual. I went to a virtual wedding this weekend.
Oh, tell me about that. I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, it was really cool. We
Did you do the whole Zoom thing?
it was a Facebook kind of live thing. It wasn't through Zoom. All I had to do was go on the Facebook and
Okay, so
bring
then
it
they
up.
couldn't see you.
Right.
Okay, so that's okay then. So you could be in your bathing suit and nobody
Yeah.
will know.
I still put a nice shirt on for it and some makeup in my hair. But
Okay.
anyway, my niece got married, and I've never seen her more beautiful. Never seen her more beautiful in my life. Her gown was so pretty, and she was just so shapely. So her husband, the guy she married, tall and very
Go
attractive.
ahead. You could say tall, dark, and handsome.
Yeah,
You're allowed.
He was a nice looking man. I've never met him, but I guess now I met him online through this virtualness.
That was cool. Now, did they have a lot of people there, or is just the two of them and the minister?
It was the two of them, the minister, and it looks to me like he has 2 daughters.
Oh,
So married previously.
okay.
So I think both of them would be like on marriage number 2.
Okay.
So it was like a small affair
Okay.
with just family and,
Okay. Do you have a boo-boo on your left finger?
do I?
Yeah. Do you have a boo-boo there or something?
That's where I
I
was
just noticed that.
raking. That's where I was
right.
raking
Okay.
last week. I
Okay.
have them on both sides.
Wow.
Yeah. And
Manual labor.
Raking and shoveling.
Okay. I noticed that as you're moving around. I'm like, oh man, she got a little boo-boo action going on there.
Yeah, and I guess I better watch it with that raking and shoveling this week. We might open on Friday. I might be doing some massages by Friday.
Oh, don't put that out there.
I'm not 100% sure.
Don't put that out there. We don't want to get people too excited.
Yeah, I know.
We don't want to give misinformation and saying stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's just a might, a
kind of like what our
possibility.
president did about injecting. Don't even get me started about that one.
Okay.
Yeah, don't even. I'll go on a rant. Yeah.
Did you watch the president anywhere this weekend?
Don't even go on. Don't even get me started.
Evan.
I'm not one to talk about politics.
Yeah.
And just when he made those hideous comments about injecting disinfectant into your body, all of a sudden the press releases came out from Lysol and the other companies. Please do not do these things. So after all that crap happened, he didn't do a press conference all weekend long.
Okay.
Yeah, he just kind of like stifled himself.
There's a girl coming up in one of your viral videos this morning that was doing that whole part and speaking like she was lip syncing the words of the president. And it was
I've seen that.
Weird watching her with the president's voice coming out of her
that's
mouth.
on TikTok.
Yeah,
that's on TikTok. It's amazing what you could do on TikTok.
I know.
You should get the app on your phone, and let me tell you, that's all the boys did all weekend was they did TikTok videos and they took pictures in the house. They got all the wrestling championship belts off the shelves in my home, and they started posing with them and doing this and doing that. And sadly, we took Dylan back down to Miami yesterday after him staying with us for a month. So that was
hard.
it was it was a little difficult. It was bittersweet. To take him down there and to see the conditions that they live in down there. And then, my son lives in nice conditions, but to see what Miami looks like, it's really bad, and I want to tell you an experience that I had going through a Dunkin' Donuts. Okay. And I want to talk to you about that, and we'll do that more after the news. Yeah. We'll do that in the 6:30, a little after 6:30. You're going to be very surprised when I tell you this one.
Okay.
Very ticked off about my experience at Dunkin' Donuts. 6:20, it's news time right now. Let's go to the news desk where Bonnie's standing by with the headlines. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning to you, Evan. And the coronavirus cases, let's take a look at them broken down by county. Here in Martin County, there are 174 cases with 5 deaths. So far in St. Lucie County, confirmed cases at 228. There are 19 deaths in St. Lucie County and 89 confirmed cases in Indian River County, where there are 5 deaths. And the coronavirus is responsible for 19 more deaths in Florida since yesterday. The Department of Health announced the state's death toll is now 1,074. There are now more than 31,000 cases statewide. The governor is citing a positive trend in coronavirus testing.
We're close to 340,000 individuals that have been tested. And in Southern Florida, where we have the bulk of tests per citizen, is 1 for every 45 people.
And Governor Ron DeSantis announced yesterday that the rate of positive COVID-19 tests has been steadily declining. 4 days ago, 6% of all tests came back positive, but 3 days ago it dropped to 5%, and 2 days ago it dropped even further to 4.5%. DeSantis says hospitalization rates have also decreased. Before the governor reopens the state, he wants to hear from you. The Reopen Florida Task Force has posted a website for residents to submit public comments. The task force says the comments will be a critical component when it comes to reopening the state. You can find the link at flgov.com/COVID-19. The state unemployment site is set to reopen today.
Shut down for 3 days, the state's unemployment system is again accepting online claims. The website used to submit the claims had to be closed to catch up on the backlog. As of Friday, the state said it had processed 31% of the almost 2 million unemployment claims submitted, but had only paid out 22% of them. I'm Mike Stevens.
In other news, it appears that Walt Disney World will be closed for the rest of the year. The Los Angeles Times reports that UBS, a Swiss bank, has informed its clients that Disney will likely wait until January 1st, 2021 to reopen its North American parks. A 36-year-old Texas man has been sentenced to 18 months in federal prison for threatening to assassinate President Donald Trump, prosecutors said. Michail was scheduled Friday, according to a statement from U.S. Attorney Aaron Neely Cox's office in Dallas. He pleaded guilty in December to making threats against Trump. According to plea documents, Gedlu admitted he threatened Trump's life on social media. During court proceedings, prosecutors said that on May 31st, 2018, Gedlu was observed across the street from Dallas's Adolphus Hotel just 30 minutes before Trump arrived there for a fundraiser. Dallas police officers noticed Gedlu holding a "Kill Trump" sign and detained him as he screamed, "Kill the president." Prosecutors said the U.S. Secret Service conducted the investigation with the assistance of Dallas police. And finally, Florida's banks are taking unprecedented steps to help customers impacted by the COVID-19 crisis.
Hardship programs, fee waivers, permitting early CD withdrawals without penalty, loan repayment deferrals, temporary credit lines, and forbearance on loans.
Florida Bankers Association President and CEO Alex Sanchez told the Reopen Florida Task Force that Floridians have full access to their money, even though many bank lobbies are closed. He also said banks are ready to partner again with the Small Business Administration to deliver billions of dollars in loans after President Trump signed another small business aid bill. The Chicago Bulls are hiring Mark Eversley as the franchise's general manager. League sources told this to ESPN. Eversley, the senior vice president of player personnel with the Philadelphia 76ers, agreed to a deal late Sunday night to join new executive vice president of basketball operation Arturas Karnizovas with Chicago, the sources said. News time is 6:25, and weather and traffic together are next.
$6:26 right now, the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together, all brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
Well, Evan, we're not seeing any traffic accidents to report right here. Everything's looking clear, including Federal Highway. Major highways are fine on a Monday morning. There's your latest look at traffic. Nice and cool, too, as you step outside. It's 62 in Port St. Lucie. Stewart's at 64. Here's our forecast at WPTV.
Here on the Treasure Coast, it is cooler with clearing skies and light northerly winds. This afternoon, sunny and warm with high temperatures in the upper 70s and low 80s and low humidity. Winds will remain breezy out of the north-northeast, and there are no chances for rain in the forecast today. Tonight, clear skies and temperatures in the 50s. I'm WPTV First Alert meteorologist Glenn Glazer on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
You're listening to the Get Up and Go Show with Evan and Bonnie on Heritage Station, AM 1450 WSTU. Now let's get back to the program with Evan and Bonnie.
629, the Get Up and Go Show with Evan and Bonnie. And before we get into our viral videos, I wanted to continue on about what I started to talk about before you went into the news. I'm not going to say which Dunkin' Donuts I went to, but Dylan and I, my son, on the way down to my daughter's house, we stopped at my daughter's house on the way down to see the progress of the interior decorating that's going on in her new home. And she texted us, said, "Hey, Dad, can you pick me up, this and this at Dunkin' Donuts?" And I'm like, "Sure, no problem."
Yeah.
So we get to Dunkin' Donuts and we go through the drive-thru and we order. Okay. And when we get to the window, the lady in the window, she has a blue mask on, but she's not even covering her face with it. It's down to her chin.
Oh, really?
And I just looked at her, and my son looks at her and goes like, move your mask up on your face.
Yeah, like what's the point, right?
And she didn't understand, and it was like it was creepy. It really was.
It's
she didn't have the mask on her face.
I think there are some like viral pictures or like a video of Ben Affleck lately too.
Yeah.
Where he's kind of like wearing his mask wrong in some pictures. And they're saying, why is he doing this? Because he was Batman and he had to wear a mask on set. He should know how to wear a mask right.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And I think there's a picture too of him like smoking while he's wearing the mask.
Yeah. So then this other lady comes up to her and says to her, I guess it was the manager, and she tells her, "Put your mask on your face." And she goes, I can't. And the lady goes, "Why?" She goes, "Because people won't hear me on the microphone when I'm talking through the drive-thru." I'm like, of course they can hear you.
Oh,
they can hear you fine.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it. She just didn't want to wear it.
Wow.
So she like had it down under her chin.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is the point? I mean, you're still, you're touching my things. And then, she goes to get my payment and she's wearing gloves and I have my credit card in my hand.
Mm-hmm.
So I expected her to hand me a machine that I can insert my card in so she doesn't have to touch it.
Yeah.
So then what she does is she grabs my card with her gloves. So now she's contaminated my credit card with the gloves that she's wearing and then hands it back to me. So I immediately got out my hand sanitizer and I got out a paper towel and I had to wipe down my credit card and wipe my hands down.
Yeah.
I'm just really cautious about stuff like that.
You can never be too safe with this thing, really, right?
Yeah.
You want to be as safe as
But
can be.
that just wasn't a good experience.
Yeah. I wonder if it was some sort of thing where maybe managers wanted her to wear the mask and maybe she didn't feel good about wearing it.
I don't know.
And, tried to get away with what she could.
Couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell you. All I know is I won't go back to that Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, it's
Definitely not.
Yeah. There are certain places that I like to go, and then there will walk right out of if the service isn't good.
Yeah, I'll go places that I know that where I go as a regular customer.
Yeah.
Especially with everything going on. You can't go into a restaurant now, so I'll order takeout. Like the other day, we ordered some stuff from Thirsty Turtle.
Oh yeah.
It's one of our favorite places. We ordered some wings and chicken stingers.
I went there for my birthday.
Yeah,
it was a good experience.
Great. So we went to the one on Port St. Lucie Boulevard by Gatlin, and we got takeout, which is out of the little building that's right next door.
Yeah.
And you go in, you put your card in the machine, you don't touch nothing, your stuff is in a bag, and you walk out. Done, over with.
Other restaurant I'm missing, and they have delivery and pickup too right now, is the St. Lucie Draft House. They're open from 11 till 8 at night.
Oh, wow.
You can order, they'll deliver it, you can pick up. And I'm really missing their Draft House shrimp, and I'm missing their cheesy potato soup. And I'm just, missing going out to restaurants. Seriously, Evan.
Right.
I just can't wait for the day that we can just go out and dine again. I mean, can you imagine when the restaurants do reopen, they give that green go light to open?
Well, Georgia's reopening.
They are.
Yeah.
And Oklahoma too.
Yeah. I don't know if it's too soon or not. I don't want to
but just think of
voice my opinion.
Just think of all the people that are going to be going to the restaurants because we haven't done it in a while.
Yeah, they'll probably run out of food.
I know.
Yeah,
they'll really have to be. I'm sure they'll have to be ready.
Yeah.
And I think down to the. Did I hear maybe down to the south of us, they might be opening up the where you can sit outside, like the outside areas of restaurants.
Where's this at?
I might be the West Palm Beach area, Fort Lauderdale area.
I don't know. That's more of a hotbed than up here, so I don't know why they'd be doing that.
But I think maybe I just saw a news story on it this morning. I could have my location wrong, but there was Florida where I think they said they wanted to open up the open areas where people sit outside at least.
That I can deal with.
Yeah.
I can deal with going and sitting outside because the virus is less of a chance for you to catch when you're outside opposed to inside a closed area. Like when you go to the grocery store, that's why they say wear a mask.
Mm-hmm.
When you go to the grocery store because of that.
Yeah.
Because of the droplets, they linger in the air more inside than outside.
Yeah. Speaking of being outdoors, Indian River County, they're going to be opening up their beaches on Tuesday.
Are they?
Yeah.
Where'd you get that from?
Was on news this morning.
Oh, was it? Okay, great.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. So that's like a good sign. And, this weekend, I wouldn't mind traveling up to Indian River County to go to I guess it would be like the situation we had here when our beaches were open and people flooded in from down south to our beaches.
Yeah, I wouldn't partake in that. That's just me personally.
Maybe St. Lucie County pretty soon.
Not
saying they're open yet, but
we'll find out from Taryn Krista on Wednesday.
Oh, we will.
Or a sheriff on Tuesday.
For Martin County, we will.
Yeah, definitely. So, hey, Bonnie, there's talk on social media. We're going to talk a little bit about viral videos. There's talk on social media that when ESPN showed the Titans coach Mike Rabel's house during the NFL draft, someone was in the background sitting on a toilet seat with their pants down. Now, That was not actually the case. Okay.
Wait. I've seen the picture. It sure looks like there's somebody back there.
It's been a long quarantine over here, he said, but his son Tyler was not using the restroom. He was sitting on a bar stool next to his mom. And here's the video. I'm not going to play the audio, but let me hit this play button here so you can see.
Oh, that's hilarious.
He's sitting next to his mom. Is that playing on the video being interviewed as we're watching this? And you'll see in a minute they'll pan, I guess. There it is right there. See, they're zooming in and it's right there. But he's not. He's just sitting on a bar stool.
It's
is what
a bar
it is.
stool. Seriously, Evan,
Yeah.
it does look like a toilet seat, though. And
Yeah.
very misconstrued, but it's just a boy being drafted sitting on a bar stool.
Sitting on a bar stool. That's all he's doing. He's not sitting on the throne, sitting on a bar stool. Recently, a woman was forced to move back in with her mom during self-isolation. And at some point, she caught her mom taking the time to break the news to her dog. The dog's reaction was pretty funny. So naturally, the videos are making the rounds on social media. On the post on Twitter, it says, walked in on my mother talking to our dog about practically moving back in. So here's a video of this. Let's see if we can get this to play. All right, here we go.
I know you're trying to communicate something. This is Brianna. I never introduced you. This is Brianna, my daughter. I know you're wondering why she's here so long, right? Because we never had a visitor this long.
Yeah.
And like the dog's face too.
This poor dog, and there's
And
even
we don't
more.
know how long it's going to be, when it's going to be over, or if it's ever going to be over. So Brianna's going to be here for a while. We're going to be sharing our place, our small space.
So she's talking to the dog.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
And boy, the look at the dog's face, it looks like the dog too is involved in like a serious conversation.
Well, either that or the dog's looking at the woman thinking, hey, lady, you're crazy.
Go get me a bone.
Yeah. So TMZ shared a video that someone posted on TikTok, which parodies President Trump's infamous disinfectant press conference.
Oh, yeah.
So now I'm not going to play this because it's just Trump's voice.
Yeah.
Okay, because you have to see the video. But the lady's name is on Twitter. Her name's Sarah Cooper. So if you want to go on Twitter, her handle on Twitter is @SarahCPR. And it's pretty darn funny. I will say that much.
It is. It's weird seeing President Trump's voice coming out of this little gal. It's almost like a creepy feel to it.
Yeah.
But,
well, anything that he says as of late is kind of creepy, unfortunately.
But she does a pretty good job.
Yeah.
She does a pretty good job.
She did a really good job in regards to that, I will say. I definitely will say. Bonnie, did you know that you can predict how much money someone based on their favorite type of music? Are you aware of that?
Really?
You can predict how much money someone makes based on their favorite type of music.
So if somebody likes the opera and can afford to going to a night at the opera, they're probably like in that millionaire zone, right?
I would think so, yeah.
That's what we think anyway.
Yeah. Did you know the average person falls asleep in 7 minutes? 7 minutes.
I bet you don't do that.
No,
I don't do that.
No.
And if I wake up during sleep, I can't get back to sleep.
If I fall asleep in 7 minutes, let me tell you, I'll be in Fat City.
Yeah.
I will be in Fat City without a doubt.
I love getting that REM sleep when you have those rambling dreams that go on. It makes, when I wake up in the morning and I know I dreamt a lot, I just feel refreshed.
My son told me on the ride down to Miami yesterday, he had a dream he was on a cruise ship Saturday night.
Oh, what a great dream.
Well, no, it wasn't. There was a bunch of weird crap going on the cruise ship.
Oh, like
just
some dicey people and all that?
Just all sorts of weird stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was.
People with corona?
No, nothing like that. Just weird things.
Wow.
Things I can't really mention on the radio.
Oh, wow.
I want to keep my job.
Yeah. Wow.
But yeah, just a bunch of weird stuff.
Yikes.
Did you know even if we could, 67% of us say going on a picnic? 67% of people do not like going on a picnic.
That's a big percentage, but I guess there's just some people that just don't like the outdoors, I guess.
No. Did you know the average American spends about $6 a week on lottery tickets?
Yeah.
Would you like to know how much I spend a week on lottery tickets?
I'm going to guess and say
Take a guess.
$50.
Nope. Keep going.
100.
Less.
Okay, like maybe 75.
Higher.
80.
You nailed it right on the head.
$80.
Like we're playing a game show right there.
I know.
Higher, lower.
That they have that on The Price is Right.
Yep. Usually it's like 75, $80 a week, but
yeah,
every week I win.
Yeah.
Because
So
I
you
follow
keep it-
my friend's method.
Keep it rolling.
I follow my friend's method
Oh,
that he
yeah.
wrote that book about.
I would like to know the method.
Did you ever go out and buy the book? We had a conversation about that like a month ago.
Yeah, I have to write it down.
Yeah, it's called How to Increase Your Chances of Winning the Lottery.
All right.
Okay, write that down. It's a small little yellow book. It's on Amazon.
Okay.
And then the author's name is Richard Lustig.
Mm-hmm.
He's not with us anymore.
Oh, I'm
His wife, Cassetta. I stay in touch with
sad
Cassetta.
to hear that.
But yeah, the name of the book is How to Increase Your Chances of Winning the Lottery.
Yeah.
And the author's Richard Lustig. It's a
I
great
think-
book. It's like $15.
I think one clue might be whenever I play like Fantasy 5 is the one that I
That's
go
the one
to.
that I play. That's my go-to.
I think, and usually the numbers that I pick, it's either 3 uneven numbers and then 2 even numbers.
Okay.
Or vice versa.
Okay.
I mix up the
Don't give your secrets away.
even and the uneven.
Okay.
But I think that's what just one of the
All right.
secrets.
I'll give you a little hint. You have to play the same numbers every week. Don't change your numbers.
Yeah, and
Okay.
then like when Gary plays it, like say Florida Lotto, he'll play it, and then like there are some weeks where he'll say, "Do you want to go get me a lotto ticket? Should we go get a lotto ticket?" And then he plays the same numbers every week. So it's
Okay.
almost like you gotta get them, because just think if you didn't go out to get that lotto ticket that night and then they rolled your picking numbers,
This
your
is
winning
true.
numbers.
This is true. Here's an interesting stat, Bonnie. Did you know that experts say that if you want to keep mosquitoes away, don't drink beer?
Oh yeah.
Pretty straightforward.
The-
Don't drink beer.
So the mosquitoes loving the beer, huh?
Yeah, mosquitoes love beer.
Yeah, and boy, to go camping, you gotta have the Budweiser.
Got to have your Budweiser.
That sweet Budweiser when you go camping.
Yep.
It wouldn't be camping without it.
According to a recent survey, the most useful thing that students learn while at college is, get ready, here it comes, how to do laundry.
This is the most useful thing.
Yeah.
How
The most useful thing.
how to do
How
laundry
to do laundry.
and to make mac and cheese
Well, I don't know about mac and cheese.
or ramen noodles. I don't want to diss on those. I still eat those.
Don't
really.
you dare diss on ramen noodles. Let me tell you, people love them some
know.
ramen noodles.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like they're dangerous to have in my cupboard.
People live on that kind of stuff.
Some people do. Some people eat them day in and day out. That's a lot of sodium.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of sodium, a lot of salt. But you know what? It's inexpensive.
But you know what? I heard there's something in the ramen noodle, some way they make it, Evan, something in there that it doesn't dissolve in your stomach for like 3 days.
It's like M&M's. Melts in your mouth, not in your hands. Hey, it's 6:45 right now. The Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for news. Let's go to the news desk where Bonnie's standing by. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning, Evan. The coronavirus cases broken down. Indian River County has 89 cases with 5 deaths. And the number of confirmed cases in St. Lucie County at 228 right now. There are 19 deaths. Number of confirmed cases in Martin County, 174, 5 deaths for Martin County. And the coronavirus is responsible for 19 more deaths in Florida since yesterday. The Department of Health announced the state's death toll is now 1,074. There are now more than 31,000 cases statewide. The governor is citing a positive trend in coronavirus testing.
Close to 340,000 individuals that have been tested. And in southern Florida, where we have the bulk of the cases, the ratio of tests per citizen is 1 for every 45 people.
And Governor Ron DeSantis announced yesterday that the rate of positive COVID-19 tests has been steadily declining. 4 days ago, 6% of all tests came back positive, but 3 days ago, it dropped to 5%, and 2 days ago, it dropped even further to 4.5%. DeSantis says hospitalization rates have also decreased. Before the governor reopens the state, he wants to hear from you. The Reopen Florida Task Force has posted a website for residents to submit public comments. The task force says the comments will be a critical component when it comes to reopening the state. And you can find the link at flgov.com/COVID-19. The state unemployment site is set to reopen today.
After being shut down for 3 days, the state's unemployment system is again accepting online claims. The website used to submit the claims had to be closed to catch up on the backlog. As of Friday, the state said it had processed 31% of the almost 2 million unemployment claims submitted, but had only paid out 22% of them. I'm Mike Stevens.
And it appears that Walt Disney World will be closed for the rest of the year. The Los Angeles Times reports that UBS, a Swiss bank, has informed its clients that Disney will likely wait until January 1st, 2021 to reopen its North American parks. And lastly, a 36-year-old Texas man has been sentenced to 18 months in federal prison for threatening to assassinate President Donald Trump. Michail Gedlu was sentenced Friday, according to a statement from the U.S. Attorney Aaron Neely Cox's office in Dallas. He pleaded guilty in December to making threats against Trump. According to plea documents, Gedlu admitted he threatened Trump's life on social media. During court proceedings, prosecutors said that on May 31st, 2018, Gedlu was observed across the street from Dallas's Adolphus Hotel just 30 minutes before Trump arrived there for a fundraiser. Dallas police officers noticed Gedlu holding a Kill Trump sign and detained him as he screamed, "Kill the president." Prosecutors said the U.S. Secret Service conducted the investigation with the assistance of Dallas police. And former NBA star Kermit Washington wants out of prison because he's afraid of catching COVID-19. Kermit is serving 6 years for setting up a fake charity to supposedly help starving and HIV-positive kids in Africa. News time is 6:49. Weather and traffic together are next.
$6:50 the time right now. The Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together, all brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
Well, Evan, on the roads on a Monday morning, so far, so good. We have a clear ride, no traffic accidents, no slowdowns right here. There's your latest look at traffic. And it's clear sky, nice and cool with a breeze, too, as you're stepping out. 61 in Port St. Lucie. Here's your forecast at WPTV.
Here on the Treasure Coast, it is cooler with clearing skies and light northerly winds. This afternoon, sunny and warm with highs in the upper 70s and low 80s and low humidity. Winds will remain breezy out of the north-northeast, and there are no chances for rain in the forecast today. Tonight, clear skies and temperatures in the 50s. I'm WPTV First Alert meteorologist Glenn Glazer on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
Show would love to hear from you live on the air. Give us a call at any time. Now let's get back to the program. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
$6:55 on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie, and the band played on a Monday morning, Bonnie.
Yeah, sounds like they really got a lot of sleep because they sound so crisp and cheerful today.
The only thing I don't like, I wish they. So I'm going to have a talk with the band director after we get off the air and see if they can learn some new material for the upcoming weeks.
That's cool. I'm not too tired of this one yet, though.
No.
That piano is so clean,
Really good.
It's rather flowing nicely.
I'm really glad that we hired the Get Up and Go show band.
I'm happy with it, too.
The only thing is, though, I'm going to have to figure out who the band leader is.
Yeah.
Not sure yet.
Still don't know the name of that band leader.
No.
It might be nice when we have to write out his paycheck to know his name.
Yeah. I have a list of the top 5 things that Mom probably doesn't want for Mother's Day. This ought to be interesting.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Would you like to hear them?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's number 1, an oil change kit. Okay.
An oil change
An oil
kit?
change kit.
No.
Think about that.
Seriously, Mom wants you to drive her to the place where she gets her oil changed.
Exactly.
And
she doesn't want an oil change
she
kit.
wants you to chaperone her.
Exactly. Number 2, a half rack of your favorite beer. Okay. That's another one that Mom probably doesn't want.
Yeah.
Okay. A gift certificate for a Ryan Seacrest tattoo. Okay.
Maybe, but you know what? Some moms now might want that. Many moms, are now moms that
Okay.
used to watch American Idol.
All right. Here's another one. How about and this is things that Mom doesn't want for Mother's Day. A foot massage just for one foot. And if her birthday's coming up, you can get her the other one too.
You better take her for the buy one, get one.
Yeah,
So she
BOGO.
can get both feet done.
BOGO. And lastly, one of the top 5 things Mom probably doesn't want for Mother's Day, a complete recap of the NFL draft done in pretzels. Right?
For Mother's Day, her birthday
What?
is right around the same time.
Okay.
Remember when Zima was popular?
Oh, yeah. Zima beer.
And
yeah.
they had the commercials that said something different.
Yeah.
I sent my mom like a 6-pack of Zima with a cactus plant.
Did you really?
And on the card I wrote something different.
Wow.
I don't know if she appreciated the Zima, but I know she likes plants.
Did you drink Zima back in the day? Just out of curiosity.
Once in a while I
You
would
did?
have a Zima.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was in the that was a clear beer, wasn't it?
It sure was.
It was clear, so it looked like there was water in the bottle.
Yeah.
And if I remember correctly, it had like a blue label with white lettering.
Yeah, I think you're correct. I think
Okay.
you're correct with that. It had like a little fizz. It was like a fizzy kind of beer. It was maybe like a cross between
Is it around anymore?
beer
Zima
and a
beer?
wine. And
I
I haven't seen it.
Okay.
I haven't seen
What
it
about
anywhere.
Schlitz malt liquor?
I don't know.
Remember that one?
I would have to look for it. Were you a Schlitz malt liquor?
No, I don't drink beer. I don't drink. Remember, I don't drink.
That's right.
Back in the day, my dad, when we lived in New York, he was president of 2 beer companies, Rheingold
Wow.
and Ballantine.
Ballantine.
Rheingold and Ballantine. If anybody out there is listening and they remember Rheingold or Ballantine, I'd love to hear from you. 772-220-9788. Give us a call. But yeah, Rheingold and Ballantine beer was the beer of the Mets actually too back in the day.
Was that were there breweries like up in the Bronx?
The breweries were up in New York. Yeah.
Yeah.
My dad worked for a company called O'Neill Beverage.
Okay.
It's amazing how I remember this stuff.
Yeah.
And he was the president of both these companies, not at the same time, but 2 different beer companies.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It sounds, I wonder how he got involved in the beer business.
I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe he went to school for business or some sort of thing.
Couldn't tell you. He was a military guy, so he was a colonel in the U.S. Army with 47 years of service. We're WSTU, Stewart. We're Martin County's Heritage Station. The news is coming up next, and more of the Get Up and Go show right here with Evan and Bonnie. Don't go anywhere.
On air, online, covering the Treasure Coast. Get connected to the Get Up and Go Show. And now here's your host, Evan and Bonnie.
6:07 on the Get Up and Go Show. And Bonnie, we have a call right now, so we don't want to keep our caller waiting too much longer because she's been sitting there very patiently waiting while the news was on. Good morning. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with this morning?
Good morning. This is Barbara.
Hey, Barbara, how are you?
I'm just fine, thanks. And I got up earlier than I usually do, so it worked out perfect.
Wow. Hey, have you heard our new band playing in the other room, by the way, a couple of times?
Oh, yes.
How do you like it?
I like it.
Yeah?
It's got a good beat.
Nice. Okay.
Does it put a little pep in your step?
Yeah, I like that pep in your step, right?
Yes, definitely. You guys are doing a good job.
All right. Well, thanks. I appreciate that. We're going to have a meeting with the band director after we get off the air this morning because we need to get them to learn some new songs because they seem to keep playing the same 5 songs
over and over. Yeah.
So we need to get a little, a little flavor, a little kind of like Neapolitan ice cream,
Oh, I agree.
Right.
Yeah.
So how can we help you this morning? You gave us a call.
I gave you a call to tell you about Rheingold and Valentine.
Oh, wow. So you remember those beers?
Oh, yes, I was much too young. But the funny thing is that I really remember about Rheingold. Well, my parents drank Rheingold.
Okay.
And they had the Rheingold girls. You had to vote for a beauty contest with Rheingold.
The Rheingold girls?
The Rheingold girls.
Kind of like
yes.
the today version of the Budweiser girls. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And all their pictures were up on the buses. They had advertisements on the buses and on the subways.
Okay.
And then in the stores, they had this piece of paper, and you got to vote for who you thought was Miss Rheingold.
Okay. Were you up on there also? Were you one of them? As one of the Rheingold girls?
I was too young, but I'm sure I would have been later
Okay.
on.
You probably would have won, I bet.
That would be very debatable.
Now, do you remember what the can looked like? What it looked like by any chance?
Valentine had 3 rings.
Yes, you're right. It was like a brown can, and it had red letters and 3 rings.
3 rings, right.
Yes, I remember that.
And Rheingold, I don't remember what the can looked like.
I think it was white, and I'm not sure. I could Google it. It'd probably come up real quick.
Probably. I actually had some of those cans, back in the 80s.
Okay.
My son collected beer cans.
Wow.
That was a big thing to collect was beer cans.
Now, I'll tell you that what's something that I do have that I actually showed it to our one of our Mets people because I work for the Mets also as the PA announcer.
I know that. Yes.
So I found a coaster, a beer coaster, and it was it was a Ballantine beer coaster, and I showed this to Jay Horowitz, who has been with the Mets forever and a day, and he looks at me and he's like, "Where did you get that from?"
Oh man.
I remember them.
Yeah.
Yep. And they had the 3 rings on them.
Yes.
Back in the days when you went to the bar, they always put the coasters there.
Right, exactly. Now they just slap a napkin down and put your beverage on it, and that's it.
Yeah.
It's not like the old days. Hey, so how are you and your family dealing with house arrest, as they call it?
Well, we're doing fine, but I'm working. I'm a nurse.
Oh, are you?
Oh, God bless you.
Which hospital do you work at? If you
No,
don't
I don't work at a hospital.
Okay.
I'm a home health nurse, so I go into the homes.
Okay. How are your patients doing?
They're all doing fine. I haven't had any with COVID-19.
Oh, thank God.
Thank God, yes. And, of course, besides seeing them, we're educating them on the big thing of not touching a garbage can.
Right.
All those little ideas.
Right.
And they're all safe, thank God.
Now, do you mask up and glove up when you go in?
Yes.
You wear the full protective gear and everything?
Just the mask and the gloves.
Okay. All right. Very good.
And we have to call them ahead of time to make sure they don't have any signs and symptoms.
Right.
And the first thing we do when we go in the house is check their fever. Check
Definitely.
their temperature.
Now, how are you doing that? Are you doing that with we just got, our family just got this newfangled gadget where you hold it up to the forehead like a quarter of an inch.
Right.
And you press the button and it gives you the temperature.
Right. No, I have the old-fashioned oral one that you put in the mouth for a couple of minutes.
Right. Okay. All right.
Well, bless your heart for being so brave like you are every day. That's a brave thing.
Yeah, you're a first responder, and we thank you for your service and for being there and taking care of the folks as well. We really do.
Thank you very much. Yes, my husband is accepting it. My daughter is not accepting it at all. She's upset. My sons, they're boys.
Yeah.
They go with the flow.
Yeah.
Yeah, boys usually do.
My 17-year-old works at Publix as a cashier, so he masks up when he goes to work, and then when he gets home, he literally like strips down in the garage, go right in the shower, the whole 9 yards.
Exactly, and my uniforms go in a separate hamper.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of things that we took for granted before we're not taking for granted anymore.
No,
yeah, definitely.
Just think how much this is going to change. Probably when everybody goes back to work in their workplaces, how things will be different now.
You're right, and I haven't seen the inside of a grocery store in almost 2 months.
Yeah, everything's online now. You pick up
order.
You order right online. Do you which service do you use?
Instacart.
Okay, that's through Publix or Winn-Dixie, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's through all of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even Total Wine delivers.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, we need some of that.
Nothing like getting a little liquored up in your own home, right?
Right.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, all those liquor sales have been up too.
Yeah.
You got it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Liquor sales and all that stuff. So what is your go-to board game or your better half do to occupy time? What's your favorite thing?
My husband and I play Skip-Bo.
Skip-Bo.
Yeah, it's similar to Uno.
Okay.
Only it's a little more challenging.
Ooh.
Okay.
And we play backgammon.
Okay. All right. We've been doing family game night at our house. We have this game that my kids went out to the store and bought the other day. It's something to do with memes. It shows you a picture and then you're dealt like 7 cards and you have to pick a card that you think the meme best applies to, and then the person that picks the meme reads all 3 and then you select one, and then if you're selected, of course you get to keep the meme, and then whoever gets to 10 first wins.
That sounds interesting. My husband and I play a lot of board games and card games.
There's a family too that I heard about this morning. They want to play all of the board games that are like out there during their quarantine.
Oh my, that'll take forever.
So they're like trying to do like a world record with it to play, get their hands on every single one.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Hey, do you remember the game Operation?
Oh yes.
Right? That's a great classic game.
Yes, it is.
Right?
Oh gosh, that's an old one.
Get the little tweezers, and you got to take out like the funny bone or the heart or the chicken bone, or you know. And if you don't get it, the guy's nose lights up red, and you get the big you get this sound effect when you touch the side.
I hate that sound.
I forgot about that game.
Yeah, that's a classic one. Well, hey, I want to thank you for listening to the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. We greatly appreciate you, your husband. Thank you for your service, what you're doing as a first responder and doing what you do. And it's, it's greatly appreciated, not only yourself, but all the other doctors and nurses and those that are on the front lines, the medics, firefighters, police officers. The list goes on and on.
Thank you so much. And by the way, I'm a diehard New York Mets fan.
Yes,
and I was at the very last game that they allowed.
Really?
Oh, wow.
That
Then
Wednesday.
you heard my voice.
I did.
That's right. You heard my voice. Now batting number 20, Pete Alonso.
And what was great was they won 7-1.
Yeah.
7. Yeah.
It was against the Cardinals.
Yes.
And I still, it's funny you say that because I went by the stadium the other day. I had to pick up some things in my sound room. So I figured, you know what, let me turn the scoreboard on. And sure enough, that score is still on the scoreboard.
Oh, it's still posted.
It's still posting.
Oh.
Yes.
Wow.
It's still there.
That you're anticipating getting back to the ballpark, aren't you?
I am. If we ever get back, yes, but that'll be fine. I can wait.
Who's your favorite Mets player?
Oh, please. Back in the old days. Duffy Dyer was
a
catcher.
Gosh. Number 10.
Yes.
Number 10, Duffy Dyer. He actually is part of Mets fantasy camp.
I know
every
he
year.
is. I know. I go to those games too.
Okay. All right. I'm there also. Very good. Very good. Who else did you like back in the day?
Oh, Tom Seaver.
Oh, number
Rusty
41.
Staub.
Oh, definitely. How about Jerry Grody?
Oh, you You got it.
Ed Kranepool, Buddy Harrelson, Tommy Agee, Jerry Kuzman.
That was back in my day.
I can go on and on. I went to the 69 World Series.
Did you really?
Yes, my dad took me to the 69 World Series.
Wow.
We sat next to the dugout when the Mets won the World Series. So we were there at Shea Stadium when the field got totally demolished.
Oh, yes. I remember that game.
Gil Hodges was the manager, number 14.
Boy, you're really up there.
Well, when you're a Mets fan and you work for the Mets for 8 years, you learn all your knowledge and stuff.
Yes.
Now, what about today? Today's current players. Who's your favorite player? Do you have one?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
Okay. All right. That's all right. You just like the whole team.
I do.
All right. Very good. Very good. Well, hey, thank you so much for your call. We appreciate you. We'll catch you around the ballpark. And when we do get baseball back in going again, make sure and ask one of the ushers where Evan, the PA announcer, is, because I would love to meet you. Shake your hand, give you a hug, and welcome you back to the ballpark.
Very good. Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks for calling.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Have a good day, Barbara.
What a sweet lady.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart.
Yeah,
she's like a true blue baseball fan.
Die-hard Mets fan.
News on the radio. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
All right, we're going to whip through these birthdays real quick, Bonnie.
You
That was
bet.
a great phone call.
Yeah.
Lizzo's 2 years old today.
Okay.
William Mosley's 33. That's Prince Liam on the E! Show The Royals. Jenna Coleman is 34. That's Clara Oswald on Doctor Who. Patrick Stump, 36, Fall Out Boy's lead singer. Joan Osborne of Brothers Osborne is 38.
Joan Osborne?
Yes.
Oh, John Osborne.
John
right?
Osborne. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
John. My
but
bad.
that's okay. Joan Osborne was the one that had One of Us, or that kind of like religious song.
Yeah.
So there was a singer too,
Yeah.
Joan Osborne.
Yeah, my bad. I stand to be corrected.
John Osborne of Brothers Osborne.
Remember Sheena Easton?
Oh, I sure do.
61 years old today. Hits like Sugar Walls. You Got the Look, For Your Eyes Only. I love that song, For Your Eyes Only.
Yeah, and Prince wrote Sugar Walls for her too, and she did You Got the Look with Prince.
Yep.
Back in those days.
Kiss lead guitarist Ace Frehley, 69 years old today.
Can't believe the guys from Kiss are reaching the peak of 70.
I know. They're all collecting Social Security
Oh
now.
my.
Kate Pearson is 72. That's the B-52's Love Shack, Rome, and Rock Lobster vocalist.
Now,
Wow.
when you mentioned Kate Pearson, there's also a Kate Pearson on This Is Us.
Yeah.
The character on This Is Us,
Yeah.
not to be confused with her, but Kate Pearson of the B-52s.
Those celebrating a birthday in the heavens, Casey Kasem. Remember him?
Oh.
I'm Casey Kasem.
He was my
American
favorite.
Top 40.
He was my favorite.
Used to love listening.
I used to love listening to him every single Sunday with that top 40 countdown.
He was the voice of Shaggy also on Scooby-Doo.
He was.
Yep.
Yep.
Dr. Martin Luther King's wife, Coretta Scott King, is celebrating a birthday up in the heavens. How about Judy Carn? She's celebrating from Rowan and Martin's Laughing. That's the suck it to me, suck it to me, suck it to me, suck it to me chick.
That's right.
Yes, Jack Klugman from The Odd Couple celebrating a birthday up in the heavens. Also, today is National Prime Rib Day, Bonnie. National Prime Rib Day. You know what that means?
I want
Got to go to the store and have a prime rib.
I got to go to the store to do it. Yeah, you can't go out to the restaurant as of yet.
Nope. And of course, in 8 days from now, it's Teacher Appreciation Day. Well, that's not going to be happening. And in 13 days from today, it's Mother's Day.
And you mentioned Teacher Appreciation Day, which reminds me, I have a teacher friend that celebrated too this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
My lovely, talented friend, Sherry Tovar.
Oh, Sherry Tovar. Okay.
Happy birthday.
All right. And we're kind of doing this backwards today. Bonnie, anybody you want to wish a happy birthday to?
Sherry Tovar.
Sherry Tovar. Okay. Okay.
That's my birthday wish today.
That's your birthday wish today.
Yeah.
All right. Very, very good. 7:21 right now on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for news. Let's go to the news desk where Bonnie's standing by. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning, Evan. The coronavirus is responsible for 19 more deaths in Florida since yesterday. The Department of Health announced the state's death toll is now 1,074. There are now more than 31,000 cases statewide. The governor is citing a positive trend in coronavirus testing.
We're close to 40,000 individuals that have been tested. And in southern Florida, where we have the bulk of the cases, the ratio of tests per citizen is 1 for every 45 people.
And Governor Ron DeSantis announced yesterday that the rate of positive COVID-19 tests has been steadily declining. 4 days ago, 6% of all tests came back positive, but 3 days ago it dropped to 5%, and 2 days ago it dropped even further to 4.5%. DeSantis says hospitalization rates have also decreased. Before the governor reopens the state, he wants to hear from you. The Reopen Florida Task Force has posted a website for residents to submit public comments. The task force says the comments will be a critical component when it comes to reopening the state. You can find the link at flgov.com/COVID-19. The state unemployment site is set to reopen today.
Shut down for 3 days, the state's unemployment system is again accepting online claims. The website used to submit the claims had to be closed to catch up on the backlog. As of Friday, the state said it had processed 31% of the almost 2 million unemployment claims submitted, but had only paid out 22% of them. I'm Mike Stevens.
It appears that Walt Disney World will be closed for the rest of the year. The Los Angeles Times reports that UBS, a Swiss bank, has informed its clients that Disney will likely wait until January 1st, 2021 to reopen its North American parks. Florida's banks are taking unprecedented steps to help customers impacted by the COVID-19 crisis,
including hardship programs, fee waivers, permitting early CD withdrawals without penalty, for deferrals, temporary credit lines, and forbearance on loans.
Shop owners in rural counties without large reported outbreaks of the coronavirus are ready to reopen. The state's top business regulator said today they'll operate under new sanitation and physical distancing guidelines. And finally, a Martin County 6th grade student has come up with an invention that tracks whether or not you wash your hands, specifically after using the bathroom, and it could let your boss know. WPTV's Megan McRoberts has more.
It may have taken COVID-19 for many people to finally take hand washing seriously. But Martin County 6th grader Varun Singh was looking for a way to make people wash their hands even before the pandemic.
It was by chance COVID-19 came up, and that made this project super important.
Singh entered into the Martin County School District Science Fair with a winning idea.
My mom was very helpful in helping me come up with that.
She works in the medical field where hand washing is critical. He learned from her that...
So it struck an idea in my head, if we somehow came up with a way to track our hand washing, then maybe this would fix the problem.
So he came up with this bracelet using RFID technology, or radio frequency identification.
It's often used in credit cards when you use the ATM, or maybe a pass when you scan it on the bus.
He puts a scanner near a toilet's flush handle and another near the soap dispenser. The bracelet is automatically scanned when someone flushes, and then it scans again when they wash their hands. If they don't wash, that gets documented in a database.
Business owners can look at the data and determine whether specific employees are washing their hands or whether they're not.
The idea won the science fair and the Lemelson Early Inventor Prize.
I felt very happy when I got it because it made my project feel special.
He hopes it will make a big difference in public health.
I want to get this project out there. I really want it to be utilized in restaurants and businesses. I really like designing projects that can hopefully change the world someday.
Megan McRoberts, WPTV, News Channel 5.
More than 3 decades after the Detroit Pistons stalled Michael Jordan's ascending stardom by bouncing the Chicago Bulls from the playoffs in 3 straight postseasons, Jordan admitted that he still harbors animosity for the Bad Boys team that threatened to derail his success. "Oh, I hated them," Jordan said in episode 3 of the ESPN docuseries The Last Dance. Jordan and the Bulls lost to the Pistons in 5 games in the Eastern Conference semifinals in 1988, in 6 games in the conference finals in 1989, and in 7 games in the conference finals in 1990. You can just see why he hates them. News time is 7:26. Weather and traffic together are next.
7:27, the time on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together. Brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
Well, on the roads this morning, we're looking at a really nice ride. Major highways are clear. US 1 moving right along. And there's your latest look at traffic. Nice and cool, too. We have 62 in Stewart. It's a clear sky, 61 in Port St. Lucie. Here's our forecast at WPTV.
Here on the Treasure Coast, it is cooler with clearing skies and light northerly winds. This afternoon, sunny and warm with high temperatures in the upper 70s and low 80s and low humidity. Winds will remain breezy at the north, temperatures in the 50s. I'm WPTV First Alert meteorologist Glenn Glazer on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
Mornings are better. Bonnie on WSTU.
7:30, the time on the Get Up and Go show. And Bonnie, before we go any further, I would be remiss. I forgot an anniversary. Today's my anniversary. It's not my wedding anniversary,
Okay.
but it's the day that I actually met Rachel 23 years ago to the day is when I strolled into that beeping store, the beeper store.
She worked at the beeper store?
Yeah, she worked at a beeper store. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
So, 23 years ago, was that like the old kind of beeper? I used to be a realtor up in Wisconsin. I was in realty, and we had beepers at the time. They were real kind of like a generic. Is that what you were buying?
Yeah, I was a generic beeper.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was kind of known as the not so nice customer. And my wife used to deal with me on a regular basis.
Well, she was practicing
now
then,
she's dealing
right?
with me 23 years later.
She got practice at first.
Yeah.
So she knew what you would be like by
Yeah.
coming into that store. Did you say she was like the only one in the place?
She's the only one in the place that would deal with me.
I would consider.
And she's still dealing with me 23 years later.
She had to be very good at her job then,
Yeah.
because usually you consider that one sole person that can deal with that unruly customer is like, she must have been very helpful to her
Yeah, and
boss.
I have a funny feeling this is probably her calling right now. Hi, good morning.
Good morning. This is not her.
Oh, it's not her. Okay.
Didn't sound like it.
Usually when I talk about my wife, she usually calls. So
I'm sorry.
I apologize. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with this morning?
Charlie.
Hey, Charlie, how are you?
Good. I don't know how much you covered on that Valentine thing, but I can remember Mel Allen, the voice of the Yankees, advertising that on television.
Oh, yeah, I remember. I vaguely remember that. Definitely. Do you
pour the beer?
Uh-huh.
But he couldn't drink it on television in those days.
Really?
No
was
kidding.
was it a rule that you weren't allowed to?
You weren't allowed to drink alcohol on television.
Imagine-
This was back in 1950.
And did they show the Marlboro Man on television back in 1950? Though, I mean,
I don't even think he was around then.
I don't think
maybe.
the Marlboro Man was around back then.
Okay, because I was going to say, like, a guy could
Yeah.
drink a beer on TV if the Marlboro Man could ride around on his horse and everything.
Well, riding a horse, you can ride a horse on TV. That's not an issue there. You could smoke on TV.
Yeah.
It's just you're consuming an alcoholic beverage. The unwritten rule.
Wow. And now just think how they show the commercials with everybody partying, girls
yeah.
in bikinis, drinking down, getting rowdy. Man, boy, have we come a long way,
So
baby.
you remember Valentine? Do you remember Rheingold also?
Oh yeah, both breweries were in Newark, New Jersey.
Yeah, that's where my dad worked out of. He was the president of both those breweries.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We had a friend of a family who was a bunger for Valentine beer.
A bunger?
Yeah, he was the guy who used to hammer the cork bungs into the kegs before they went out.
Oh, that's what a bunger is.
So
Okay.
he was like the most important one. Without him doing
not
that,
kidding.
So if you're not getting bungered, you're not getting a keg.
or a fresh one.
You got it.
Wow. So they had kegs back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Wow, I'm learning stuff. This is really cool. I'm getting educated
Yeah.
more and more by our listeners.
When was the last time you've been to a keg party?
I'd have to say when I was in college, and that goes back into the late 50s.
Oh my. Hey, what city are you calling us from?
I'm in Hutchinson Island.
Oh, okay. I know where you're at. Definitely. Very nice over there.
We also live in New Jersey, so.
Okay. So you guys come down in the winter, but now you're and then you go back up north in the summer, right?
Yeah, if they'll have us back there.
Yeah, if they'll. Yeah, you're kind of stuck, so to speak, but it's a good kind of stuck, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Better bring the keg.
Better to be here than stuck in Jersey right now.
Right.
What are you and your better half doing to keep yourselves busy, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, my wife does jewelry making. We do a little binge watching on TV.
What television show that you binge watch?
Oh, we've watched Virgin River.
Okay.
We're into Heart of Dixie at the moment.
Okay. Have you watched that series that everybody seems to be watching lately, Tiger King?
Yes, we did.
Oh boy. All right. And what are your thoughts on that?
I'm not too thrilled about it.
Okay. All right. It seems like everybody's watching that.
What is sir, may I ask what's the premise of Virgin River? I might be interested in that just by the name.
You know what that is? The Virgin River. It's a river that nobody's ever been on. That's why it's a virgin river.
I believe it's up in it was up in supposedly Northern California.
Oh.
But it was really filmed in Canada.
Oh.
All right.
Okay.
In fact, this also
See, is with the young girl that's really pretty. She's like the female doctor, right?
Right.
Rachel.
Well, that was the same with Virgin River.
Rachel Bilson. Mm-hmm.
Wow. All right. Just out of curiosity, are you listening to us on the radio, on Alexa, on TuneIn? Which way are you listening to us?
We do both. If we're showering, it's Alexa. Right now, you're on the radio.
Okay. Well, it's nice to know that we're taking in the shower with folks these days.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. There you go. Keep us nice and clean, right?
Hey, why not?
There you go. Hey, thank you so much for calling, and God bless you, your wife, and you guys stay safe, okay?
All right, thank you.
Thanks for the call.
Thank you for listening.
Wow.
Wow, we have some island people listening
island
on.
people. Want to say good morning to Thomas, who's listening to us. Dan Como is a good friend of the show. He's listening also.
Related to Perry Como?
Not related to Perry Como, no. Debbie Taft is listening. Brian is listening. Mike Jennison is listening. Phil just tuned in. My cousin Marnie is listening.
There's a gentleman listening from another country too, and he spells his name with these codes.
The wife is listening.
Did you see that one, Evan, on our Facebook? Like, it looks like it's coded or something. Like he has like a code, like what Prince did with his name back in the day. The artist formerly known as Prince.
Yeah,
and he had like a little code for it.
No, I don't.
But when I find it on our Facebook, I'll point it out to you.
Please let me know.
And now it's time for Stupid News,
It's so stupid and awesome.
where we ask the important questions.
Are some people too stupid to live? Why are people so stupid? Are you effing stupid?
Well, Bonnie, we missed doing this on Friday because we had a packed show.
Yeah.
And we almost missed doing it in this segment because we got a phone call, but it was a good phone call. And I would rather take phone calls and interact with people.
We're meeting some nice people this morning.
So if you want to call us, we would love to hear from you. Even if you just want to call and say, good morning, Evan and Bonnie.
Yeah.
We'll take those kind of calls too.
Say happy birthday or anniversary to someone.
Anything you want. It's an open format. We have an open door.
Doors are open.
You get on the phone with us. We sanitize you before we put you on the air.
We're not cold here. We
No.
are warm.
Yeah, we're very warm. Oh, I feel like I want to sneeze.
Bless you.
My allergies are really acting up this morning.
Yeah, some people are having a terrible time with them lately.
Yeah. Getting your hands on a proper medicinal mask in Japan is pretty hard these days, but clothing companies around the country are trying to alleviate the shortage by producing reusable cloth masks. Atsumi Fashion, an apparel manufacturer in the city of Himi-Toyomo Prefecture, is one such company, only it's going about things a bit differently. You see, Atsumi specializes in women's underwear garments, and its management decided that applying the same design to face masks wouldn't be such a bad idea, and they were right.
Well, whatever works.
So what they're doing is they're cutting brasiers in half and making face masks.
You got to do what you got to do. I'm
That's
sure
right.
a brassiere would make the perfect face mask.
Interesting. Hopefully it's not lace or see-through or something like that.
I know, right?
Because they come in all sizes and shapes and forms and patterns. And could you imagine walking in Publix with half a brassiere on your face and it's all laced up and bedazzled out, and you go through the line? You'll get some very strange looks.
Yeah, you'd be being stared at. That's for sure.
Yeah, you'd be being stared at for sure. In Indianapolis, Philip Espeak managed to get himself arrested for impersonating a police officer. Now, the man was driving a white Ford Taurus with police lights on US 31 South when he sped up next to another vehicle to pull it over. He initiated the siren, flipped on the lights, but the other vehicle would not stop. Okay? He cut in front of the car, got out with a gun on his belt, and walked up to the vehicle. He didn't know was that he just pulled over an actual police officer and his family.
Yeah.
The officer called for his colleagues from the Southport Police Department to come to the scene. The man drove off, but not before the officer got his license plate number. The man was later caught and arrested. He's facing intimidation and reckless driving.
And what are the chances he would be pulling for another police officer, right?
That is slim to none.
This takes me back to a story where there was this one guy driving home after partying all night, and he was definitely under the influence of alcohol, right? So he's going through a residential area, and he sees a police car in back of him, just following him, this corner, this corner, this corner, looks behind him, that police car is still in back of him, right?
Yep.
So what does he do? He pretends to pull into any random home that he that he pretends that he pulls into a driveway pretending that this home is his home when it's not.
Really?
To show the officer, hey, I live here. Well, it just so happened that he pulled his home.
Wow.
Right into the officer's driveway.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
So you're like, what are the chances of that?
Stupidity at its best.
Yes.
Let's go to Indiana, where cops tried to pull over a guy who was doing 120 miles an hour in a 70-mile-an-hour zone this past Wednesday last week, and wound up getting into a high-speed chase with the guy.
Wow.
Now, when they finally stopped and the guy pulled over, you know what his excuse was?
What?
He thought the cops wanted a drag race. They arrested him.
Was he driving like a muscle kind of car?
Don't
where
know.
He normally gets people that kind of like want to race him.
He thought the cops wanted a drag race.
The cops did, yeah.
Poor excuse.
I get that every now and then, when I'm driving my Mustang, because it is like a V8, it's an 8.
Yeah.
So
is it a 5-speed?
It's a big machine. It's a manual.
Okay.
But anyway,
that's a 5-speed.
Oh no, it's not a manual. It's automatic.
Okay.
What am I saying?
Automatic.
But I come to an intersection and I always get these young kids, driving up and wanting to race me in it.
You should look over and smile and just nod your head and let them think they're going to run you.
Yeah.
And let them go and let them get the ticket.
Oh, okay.
And you just sit there.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. That's it.
That's right.
Winnipeg carjacking had an unusual end to it when the teenage suspect got stuck in a garbage bin while she was hiding from the police. She was taken into custody, but the victim had to be sent to the hospital.
Wow.
Yeah, how about that one?
Getting stuck in a garbage bin.
Stuck in a garbage can, running from the cops.
That would be my biggest nightmare, because remember I mentioned you on Friday? I'm even afraid to throw a bag into one of these garbage bins for fear of a rat being in there.
Yeah.
Yet let alone to be stuck in one.
Okay. Here's an interesting story. It's going to take a little long to read, but that's okay. No mooning over Miami. This half-naked woman was topless, but she did serve up her own version of a grand slam, destroying at least 100 plates in a Southern California Denny's restaurant.
Oh.
Okay, here's the story. The topless woman was caught on video last Thursday at around 11:20 a.m., grabbing plates from a large stack in the seating area of the restaurant and smashing the heck out of them. Her rampage went on for at least a couple of minutes as patrons and employees yelled for her to stop. Her only reply was, "Shut the heck up, man," and then quickly back to the bang-up work at hand. Police showed up while she was still in the middle of her plate-chucking riot and eventually controlled the situation, and they detained the woman. Now, the cops tell us they'd gotten a call about a woman at a bus stop taking her clothes off and arguing with people before making her way into Denny's. Now, we're told she was detained and will undergo a mental evaluation. Cops believe she was under the influence of something. And by the way, the Denny's is closed for regular dining due to the coronavirus, but still open for online order pickups, which luckily don't require plates.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that poor woman. She just sounds like she was having a really bad day.
I guess maybe she didn't like her moon over Miami, as they call it, because that's on the menu.
Moon over Miami.
Moon over Miami.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Not a good thing.
No.
From stupid news to real news. Let's head over to the news desk where Bonnie is standing by with the latest headlines. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning, Evan. The coronavirus is responsible for 19 more deaths in Florida since yesterday. The Department of Health announced the state's death toll is now 1,074. There are now more than 31,000 cases statewide. The governor is citing a positive trend in coronavirus testing.
close to 340,000 individuals that have been tested. And in southern Florida, where we have the bulk of the cases, the ratio of tests per
yesterday that the rate of positive COVID-19 tests has been steadily declining. 4 days ago, 6% of all tests came back positive. 3 days ago, it dropped to 5%. And 2 days ago, it dropped even further to 4.5%. DeSantis says hospitalization rates have also decreased. Before the governor reopens the state, he wants to hear from you. The Reopen Florida Task Force has posted a website for residents to submit public comments. The task force says the comments will be a critical component when it comes to reopening the state. You can find that link at flgov.com/COVID-19. The state unemployment site is set to reopen today.
Shut down for 3 days, the state's unemployment system is again accepting online claims. The website used to submit the claims had to be closed to catch up on the backlog. As of Friday, the state said it had processed 31% of the almost 2 million unemployment claims submitted, but had only paid out 22% of them. I'm Mike Stevens.
It appears that Walt Disney World will be closed for the rest of the year. The Los Angeles Times reports that UBS, a Swiss bank, has informed its clients that Disney will likely wait until January 1st, 2021 to reopen its North American parks. And finally, Florida's banks are taking unprecedented steps to help customers impacted by the COVID-19 crisis,
including hardship programs, fee waivers, permitting early CD withdrawals without penalty, loan repayment deferrals, temporary credit lines, and forbearance on loans.
Florida Bankers Association President and CEO Alex Sanchez told the Reopen Florida Task Force that Floridians have full access to their money, even though many bank lobbies are closed. He also said banks are ready to partner again with the Small Business Administration to deliver billions of dollars in loans after President Trump signed another small business aid bill. Well, former NBA star Kermit Washington wants out of prison because he's afraid of catching COVID-19. Kermit is serving 6 years for setting up a fake charity to supposedly help starving and HIV-positive kids in Africa. And the first couple to not make it through the pandemic is reality star Kristen Cavallari and former Chicago Bears quarterback Jay Cutler. They announced yesterday that they're splitting after 10 years together. News time is 7:48. Weather and traffic together are next.
$7:50 the time on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together, brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
It's a good morning to be out on the roads right now. It appears that we don't have any accidents or traffic slowdowns. There's your latest look at traffic. It's a clear sky in Palm City at 64, and in Port St. Lucie also 64. Here's our forecast at WPTV.
Here on the Treasure Coast, it is cooler with clearing skies and light northerly winds. This afternoon, sunny and warm with high temperatures in the upper 70s and low 80s and low humidity. Winds will remain breezy out of the north-northeast, and there are no chances for rain in the forecast today. Tonight, clear skies and temperatures in the 50s. I'm WPTV First Alert meteorologist Glenn Glazer on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
You're listening to the Get Up and Go Show with Evan and Bonnie on Martin County's Heritage Station, AM 1450 WSTU. Now let's get back to the program with Evan and Bonnie.
7:56 the time, the Get Up and Go Show. Frank's on our line right now. Good morning, Frank. How are you?
Fine, terrific.
Hey, you mentioned another beer that also struck a nerve with me, Schaefer.
Schaefer is the one beer to have when you're having more than one.
Man, I remember that one back in the day also, Schaefer.
That's right, Schaefer. My beer is Rheingold, the dry beer.
Uh-huh.
Not free, hey, get your cold beer, get your ice cold Valentine beer.
Man, wow, all those radio jingles.
You're pretty good at that, Frank.
Well, when I was a kid, I was a big baseball fan in the 1950s.
Wow.
They had all these on the radio, and every night, there was no late night TV. They signed off with the Star-Spangled Banner.
I remember that because, like, at midnight, all the TV stations went off the air.
And they'd sing this, they'd have the Star-Spangled Banner. And now, whatever, it's TV 24/7.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. They would do the Star-Spangled Banner, and then it would go to the color code, just the color code of colors of, like, these rainbow colors that flooded your screen.
Well, you're looking for a new band. Why don't you get something like Tito Puente, Johnny Pacheco, La Lupe, all these Puerto Rican bands from New York City. Latino bands are great. Or
Latino is perfect. It would make us sound so good and festive.
Hey, Frank, I found something. Listen to this.
Precisely like. Precisely right. Precisely right.
Remember that?
Yeah, cool lager flavor.
Right?
Lively golden, crystally clear.
Wow.
Pressure.
Wow.
Valentine beer.
Wow, Frank, I am so impressed.
They used to sponsor the Yankees.
Yeah.
And Mel Allen, I listened to him on the radio. He'd yell when Mickey Mantle or some Yogi Berra hit a home run. He'd call it a Valentine blast.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Now, do you remember this, Frank? Listen.
My beer is Rheingold, the dry beer.
Right?
East side, west side, and up down.
How about that one, huh?
My wife remembers Miss Rheingold contest.
Right?
It's going to a deli for a sandwich, and you could vote for Miss Rheingold there.
Here's another classic one. See if you remember this one.
Pabst Blue Ribbon, what'll you have?
Oh,
Pabst Blue Ribbon.
That's my
when
beer.
you're watching TV boxing bouts with fighters swinging hooks and clouts, the moment that bell begins to sound, it's Pabst Blue Ribbon from the
Blue Ribbon beer. All right.
Taking you back in a trip down memory lane.
I drink. They sell it up at the wine store.
All right.
Blue Ribbon.
Man.
And then what's the other one from Pennsylvania? Iron City beer.
Yeah, that's another good one.
Are you enjoying them this morning, Frank?
No, it's too early for him to be hitting the
down
brewskis.
memory lane. My wife was got a big kick out of it because she said they used to have these contests and the people in the neighborhood would vote for them. But nobody had TVs. They go with a local tavern.
Yeah.
And watch ball games there. But you were saying on the Mets in 1969, they had a guy who was a pitcher.
Yeah.
Who became a doctor.
Yeah.
I can't think of his name.
I don't know, but we're up against a break,
Okay.
Frank. We got to do news.
Have a great day, okay?
Have a great day. Thanks for
All
calling.
right.
We're WSTU Stewart. We're Martin County's Heritage Station. The news is coming up next, and then more of the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie right after the news.
the air, online, covering the Treasure Coast. Get connected with the Get Up and Go Show. And now here's your host, Evan and Bonnie.
8:07 on the Get Up and Go Show. We have another phone call, and the phones are blazing today.
I know everybody's just loving their beer this morning.
Yeah, they're talking about beer this morning. Let's see who's on the line now. Good morning. You're on the air with us. Who's this?
Your wife.
Oh, well, I know we're not going to talk about beer with her. That's for sure. That's if we're going to talk, we'll talk about Bailey's. She's a Bailey's kind of girl.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about now.
Yeah, she likes her Bailey's.
Bailey's, and Rachel, I like that strawberry cream, the tequila rose that you get. And I also get it, I think it's called O'Donnell's or O'Donnelly or something like that. I get at Aldi.
Okay.
So, yeah, I just had an alert pop up on my calendar. Because, you know, you're the queen of remembering dates, and I'm not. So at 10 a.m. every year on this date, I get an alert that says, first time I met Rachel. So that reminds me of today as our 23 year anniversary of meeting, when I walked into that beeper store with my twins wearing those godforsaken matching outfits.
Actually, we've been together for 23 years. It's not the date we met. We met a couple months prior.
Oh, a couple months. Oh, so today's the date that I actually officially started dating you.
Correct.
Oh, okay. All right. I stand to be corrected, Bonnie.
Okay. What was your first impression of Evan when he walked into that beeper store?
I was known as the customer from you-know-where.
He was a pain in the rear end.
The rear. Yeah, I was.
And why was he so hard to deal with?
Oh boy, here we go. Go ahead, throw me under the bus. Why not? I've got people listening. Sure, go ahead, throw me under the bus.
He was just very hard-headed.
Yeah.
He was just very, almost like set in his ways, but there were like some things that we couldn't handle in store, but he would try to insist that we could. He used to pull into the parking lot the same way. So anytime we knew what vehicle he drove.
Oh, they even knew.
Yeah,
when
but
you
just
were
remember
coming.
though, I'm hard-headed.
Oh!
Yeah.
You had to be really bad when they would look for you coming, Evan.
Yeah, when they saw me coming, they ran.
Oh! We would all be in the back, and I was the only female in the office. I work with a bunch of guys, so we would all stand in the back and argue about who was going to have to go out and help him.
No kidding.
Yeah.
And you were the one that was up to it.
He'd actually come in on a Saturday, and I was the only one, because on Saturdays usually only one of us work, and he happened to come in on a Saturday that I was working.
And I'm sure with a time involvement that should be 10 or 20 minutes, with Evan probably took a whole hour or more, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes.
She could tell you exactly what the twins were wearing that day, and even what I was wearing. She remembers it literally to a T. She'll tell you.
Yeah. Now, when you remember that shirt, that certain colored shirt even that the guy was wearing, that's true love, isn't it, Rachel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The twins were in matching red, white, and blue patriotic flag look.
You were in a pair of patriotic parachute pants.
Yes, I had red, white, and blue parachute pants, and the twins were matching me. We looked like a human American flag.
How very
walking
80s.
down the sidewalk.
How very, very 80s. I hope you went down to Miami
with
after
my
that.
long hair down to my shoulders.
Fit right in down there.
Yeah.
Except it wasn't even the 80s. It was 1997.
Yeah, it was 97. I was still living in the 80s.
He was behind the times.
I was behind the times. Yeah.
Well, Rachel, that must have been really cute for you, because there's a big age difference between the two of you, too.
Yeah, we're 16, 17 years, something
Yeah.
like that. But it was kind of cool. How many? 15?
15.
15. Okay.
15.
See, stand to be corrected
Not so
again.
bad. Not so
I'm
bad.
just getting thrown under the Big Mac truck now.
No, I mean, there were 20 years between my grandparents.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I walked in and I saw her, and I just I was kind of taken back. I'm like, because I had this wall up.
Mhm.
I'm not going to go into my personal life or prior, but let's just say I had a wall up, and when I saw Rachel, she was wearing a dress, and I can picture it. I can't describe it, but I can picture it. It was a long, if I remember correctly, Rachel, it was a long dress, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was a long dress, and I figured, you know what? I'm going to ask her for her phone number. So she gives me okay, her beeper number. Okay, she's working in a beeper store. She gives me her
Cute.
beeper number.
Right.
So I get the beeper number and I'm like, all right, I'm going to beep her to call me back. Now I'm thinking this girl's pretty smart, not saying she's not, that she's going to call me back and she'll block her phone number. Well, she calls me back and she didn't block her phone number. So now I got her phone number.
All right.
And then the rest is history.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's just a beautiful story.
The rest is history from, then I just wouldn't give her the time of day and I needed a babysitter one night and I was in a jam and I called Rachel.
You called her to babysit.
I called her
for
to
you?
babysit. Yeah.
Well, you went out on another date.
No, I didn't go out on another date, Bonnie. I had a wedding to do.
Oh, I see.
I had an event to go do, and I needed a sitter, and
Uh-huh.
I was kind of stuck, and she watched the kids.
It sounds like it was harmony because you got to have a lady that gets along with your kids,
Yeah,
right? She got along with the kids right away.
Well, she got along with them, but they didn't get along with her. But
The first night they were fine because I watched them 2 nights in a row.
yeah.
First night they were great. Second night, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was bad.
And the twins, 2 young boys.
It was bad. She was ready to run for the hills. And then, what was it? New Year's Eve is when I needed you again, was it? I think it was.
remember.
Yeah, it was New Year's Eve. That was the night you spent the night. It was New Year's Eve. And then she spent the night and there was really nowhere for her to sleep. So I'm just like, sleep on the other side of the bed.
Yeah.
I'm like, I stayed in my tuxedo.
Oh, wow.
I took off my tie and my vest, but I kept my shirt and my pants on.
Yeah.
And then the kids come walking in the bedroom the next morning, like, who's that, Dad, in your bed?
Oh.
So we had to explain the whole situation.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. But boy, aren't those just blessed memories, though?
They are.
Yeah. And how, like, after you met Rachel at the beeper place,
Yeah.
how long was it before the two of you got engaged? From then on, from when you met?
We got engaged on her birthday.
In 1998.
In
So just over a year
1998.
later.
A year later,
A year later. We dated, we courted.
Yeah.
The kids really took to her.
Mhm.
And the way I looked at it, because again, I had this big wall up
Yeah.
for personal reasons. But if I figured if the kids could take to her and they enjoyed her, you know what? If that's the case, then you know what? She's a winner. She's a keeper. And through thick and thin, she's been there 23 years. And,
Yeah, that you know the kids have a lot to do with it. Seriously, if with Gary and I, if I didn't get along with his kids or be good to his kids, I would be gone. I would just be gone in a heartbeat. The kids always come first. You got to have a support that gets along with your children.
Yeah, definitely so.
Yeah,
definitely so. All right, honey, I'll let you go because I know you got to get ready for work. So have a great day. I love you and
Love
enjoy
you.
your day. All right,
love you.
bye now. All
And
right.
happy anniversary.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow, that's
man.
crazy,
That's
right?
that's a nice story, though. What a nice place to meet a beeper place.
A beeper store.
And you being all into this technology and such.
Yeah.
And
Who carries a beeper nowadays, though?
I know it's been
Think about that one.
years and years. I know I worked at Century 21 in Madison, Wisconsin. And
Man, the
I had
phones
to have
just
a
don't stop
beeper at
ringing
the
this
time.
morning. I'm
That's
loving all
good.
these calls.
It's awesome.
Hi, you're on the air with Evan and Bonnie on the Get Up and Go show. Who's this?
What you doing there, you old stud muffin, you?
Oh, it's the old man down the road. Okay. All right. Are you drinking your Ballantine or Schlitz, or Wrangled this morning, or what are you doing?
It's old Milwaukee beer.
Oh, he's into the old Milwaukee. Okay.
It tastes as great as its name, doesn't it? No,
It's
okay.
like the two little ladies running down the sidewalk, like Schlitz beer and all that.
Do you remember the jingle for that one? And old Milwaukee tastes as great as its name.
There you go. Bonnie's just a jingle machine this morning.
And so was Frank.
I know. So was Frank.
He was bringing up these jingles that they excited me, even though I've never heard those jingles. 'Cause
Yeah.
I didn't grow up on East Coast like
Yeah.
you did. But
So
there
is
were
it-
some fine ones.
I want to hear Frank do the Mad Dog 2020.
Oh, yeah. That'd be a good one.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be a good one. So what's the beer of choice for you and Edna?
Well, actually, we do moonshine.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay.
When was the last time you had moonshine, Evan?
I don't drink.
Oh, that's right.
I don't drink.
I keep thinking
You think I'm some kind of an alcoholic or something.
Evan's so much fun in the morning that I falter back, and I always considers that he drinks.
I have one drink.
Needs her AA.
I have one drink every 6 months.
Yeah.
And you know what that drink is?
Bailey's.
No, not Bailey's. It's Kahlua and cream.
Kahlua and cream.
That's it.
Well, close. That's close.
And
then.
I had that Kahlua and cream with my son when he was staying with us from Miami.
Uh-huh. A lot of people they'll have that shot of Bailey's just Christmas time or New Year's Eve. It's got to be special occasion.
Yes. Rachel likes to have a mudslide every now and then when we go out to one of our favorite restaurants. She'll order a mudslide, sometimes two. Depends.
I like a pina colada once in a while.
Pina coladas are not bad.
They made a real sweet one last time I was at Longhorn. That was good.
Hey, old man, when's the last time you and Edna had a drink?
Last night.
Oh.
She hit me with a bottle.
Oh no. What kind of bottle was it?
Oh, one of those nice mason jars.
Oh! Okay. Wow. All right. Well, hopefully you're okay.
Well, yeah, naturally, I got a little bump on the head, but Edna says, suck it up.
All right.
The mason jar, that's what you drink the moonshine out of, don't you?
How do you know that?
Yeah.
I can tell she's an AA girl.
Am not. I've never had the wild turkey before.
Oh, that's potent
AA
stuff.
stands for alcohol all the way.
There you go.
Oh my.
Man, he's just full of jokes this morning.
Yeah, he is. Oh.
Hey, old man down the road.
Fire.
Speaking of down the road, where do we find you at today? Or are you back home in the hills of whatever country that you're in or state you're in?
I happened to go by Yeehaw Junction yesterday, and I threw an egg at Phil's house.
Oh, the home office of Phil's Notebook. He egged Phil's Notebook's house. Oh, no. Oh, no.
That's egg in his face.
Yeah.
Phil's going to be with us tomorrow. I'm going to have to ask Phil about that one.
Yeah, Phil's going to be with us on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday this week. So we're going to have to ask Phil if he had a little egg in his eye, so to speak.
Yeah.
Courtesy of the old man.
Yeah.
That'll teach his top 10.
Yeah, without a doubt. All right, old man, listen, we got to run. We've got things we have to do. Just do me a favor. Say goodnight, old man.
Good night, old man.
All right, there's the old man down the road. Of course, he makes his morning appearance on the morning show. Gosh only knows where he calls in from. But, he has followed me from radio station to radio station to radio station. And I don't know how the old man finds me down the road. I have no idea.
He can always seek you out, right?
Yeah, he always can find me, definitely without.
Is he like a stalker? Like a stalker?
I don't know if he's a radio stalker.
I don't know.
I have to check the front door and make sure he doesn't throw eggs at our window.
Yeah.
Like he got Phil's Notebook's office at the home office in Yeehaw Junction.
That's right.
8:20 right now. News time. Let's go to the news desk where Bonnie's standing by. Good morning, Bonnie.
Well, good morning, Evan. The coronavirus cases by county this morning, the latest numbers, there are 174 confirmed for Martin County and 5 deaths. And the number of cases in St. Lucie County, they're at 228 with 19 deaths. Up in Indian River County, 89 confirmed, and there are 5 deaths. The coronavirus is responsible for 19 more deaths in Florida since yesterday. The Department of Health announced the state's death toll is now 1,074. There are now more than 31,000 cases statewide. The governor is citing a positive trend in coronavirus testing.
We're close to 340,000 individuals that have been tested. And in southern Florida, where we have the bulk of the cases, the ratio of tests per citizen is 1 for every 45 people.
Before the governor reopens the state, he wants to hear from you. The Reopen Florida Task Force has posted a website for residents to submit public comments. The task force says the comments will be a critical component when it comes to reopening the state. You can find the link at flgov.com/COVID-19. The state unemployment site is set to reopen today.
After being shut down for 3 days, the state's unemployment system is again accepting online claims. The website used to submit the claims had to be closed to catch up on the backlog. As of Friday, the state said it had processed 31% of the almost 2 million unemployment claims submitted, but had only paid out 22% of them. I'm Mike Stevens.
It appears that Walt Disney World will be closed for the rest of the year. The Los Angeles Times reports that UBS, a Swiss bank, has informed its clients that Disney will likely wait until January 1st, 2021 to reopen its North American parks. Florida's banks are taking unprecedented steps to help customers impacted by the COVID-19 crisis,
including hardship programs, fee waivers, permitting early CD withdrawals without penalty, loan repayment deferrals, temporary credit lines, and forbearance on loans.
Florida Bankers Association President and CEO Alex Sanchez told the Reopen Florida Task Force that Floridians have full access to their money, even though many bank lobbies are closed. He also said banks are ready to partner again with the Small Business Administration to deliver billions of dollars in loans after President Trump signed another small business aid bill. Shop owners in rural counties without large reported outbreaks of the coronavirus are ready to reopen. The state's top business regulator said today they'll operate under new sanitation and physical distancing guidelines. And lastly, a Martin County 6th grade student has come up with an invention that tracks whether or not you wash your hands, specifically after using the bathroom, and it could let your boss know. WPTV's Megan McRoberts has more.
It may have taken COVID-19 for many people to finally take hand washing seriously. But Martin County 6th grader Varun Singh was looking for a way to make people wash their hands even before the pandemic.
It was by chance COVID-19 came up, and that made this project super important.
Singh entered into the Martin County School District Science Fair with a winning idea.
My mom was very helpful in helping me come up with that.
She works in the medical field where hand washing is critical. He learned from her that not washing could pose serious risks.
So it struck an idea in my head, if we somehow came up with a way to track our hand washing, then maybe this would fix the problem.
So he came up with this bracelet using RFID technology, or radio frequency identification.
It's often used in credit cards when you use the ATM, or maybe a pass when you scan it on the bus.
He puts a scanner near a toilet's flush handle and another near the soap dispenser. The bracelet is automatically scanned when someone flushes, and then it scans again when they wash their hands. If they don't wash, that gets documented in a database.
Business owners can look at the data and determine whether specific employees are washing their hands or whether they're not.
The idea won the science fair and the Lemelson Early Inventor Prize.
I felt very happy when I got it because it made my project feel special.
He hopes it will make a big difference in public health.
I want to get this project out there. I really want it to be utilized in restaurants and businesses. I really like designing projects that can hopefully change the world someday.
Megan McRoberts, WPTV, News Channel 5.
The Chicago Bulls are hiring Mark Eversley as the franchise's general manager. League sources told ESPN Eversley, the senior vice president of player personnel with the Philadelphia 76ers, agreed to a deal late Sunday night to join new executive vice president of basketball operations, Arturas Karnavtsovas, with Chicago, according to sources. 8:25 is our news time, and weather and traffic together are next.
I'm just pushing all sorts of wrong buttons this morning. Wow.
That sounded very schizophrenic-like. I don't know which direction
I think
we
I've
were
had too
going.
much Valentine or Schlitz this morning.
That's right.
Hey, it's 8:26 right now. Time for traffic and weather together. Brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie.
All morning long, too, it has been a really nice ride on the roads. We haven't seen any accidents throughout our beautiful Treasure Coast. It's remaining that way. Drive safely. There's your latest look at traffic. Good-looking sunshine, too. It's 65 in Stewart. Here's our forecast at WPTV.
Here on the Treasure Coast, it is cooler with clearing skies and light northerly winds. This afternoon, sunny and warm with high temperatures in the upper 70s and low 80s and low humidity. Winds will remain breezy out of the north-northeast, and there are no chances for rain in the forecast today. Tonight, clear skies and temperatures in the 50s. I'm WPTV First Alert meteorologist Glenn Glazer on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
Do you have a suggestion for the show? Send us an email, WSTUmorningshow@gmail.com. And now let's get back to the Get Up and Go show. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
8:30 right now on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time to head out to outer space in a different place where Randy Siegel is standing by. And Randy, before we get into your space report, just out of curiosity, we've had several calls this morning since we're talking about classic brewskis. Are you a Ballantine or a Rangold or a Schlitz kind of guy?
I would have to be a Ballantine, to be honest with you.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Very good. Very
if I was
good.
going to, I try to keep it down. I like the lights better.
All right. All right. Very good. Take it away. The space capsule is all yours, sir.
Well, I hear that. Oh, I'm not supposed to have them in the morning.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, wasn't sure.
All right.
Well, NASA is not just space and rockets anymore. The Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Pasadena, California, the scientists there for NASA have invented a prototype ventilator that can easily be mass-produced. The ventilator that used to take 37 days to create has passed the key test at Mount Sinai in New York and is expected to get emergency approval from the FDA. When it actually gets it, they will start producing ventilators that only have 80 parts to it, which is 1/10 of what a normal ventilator uses that the hospitals are currently using. So NASA scientists are really helping with this coronavirus. Well, what happens when you launch a satellite into space and it doesn't work right? Well, that's what's facing Iran. Iran had placed into orbit a military satellite that was going to take pictures of the Earth. However, that satellite is tumbling in space. Therefore, Iran will not get the type of pictures that they're looking for to see the countries around them and to spy on American forces. Astronauts on the International Space Station received a nice package. The package was delivered to them by their Progress vehicle that automatically docked to the rear port of the space station. When the crew opened up the hatches on the new spacecraft, the first things that floated out were fresh oranges. That's right. Astronauts can't keep oranges really on board the space station. So whenever they get a new vehicle that flies to the station, from Russia especially, they end up having some goodies on board. And in this case, they received several care packages from home, as well as fresh oranges. The astronauts continue to do extremely good work on the station in a lot of the science fields, and they've also had time to deploy Guatemala's first satellite. Quetzal-1 was deployed from the International Space Station, or will be deployed from the space station tomorrow. The satellite was developed by a team in Guatemala, and the spacecraft was loaded on board as a small payload that went to the International Space Station previously. Well, they will then tomorrow extend that payload out into space from the Japanese Kibo module, and it will be ejected into its own orbit. So we'll keep you apprised about that as they continue moving forward. Also, Jessica Meir, who returned from the space station, said that they had learned a lot of different ways in order to sequester themselves once they got back here on Earth. Their immune system had been compromised because of the space flight. So now they're actually in quarantine. They're going to spend some time in quarantine until their bodies readapt to Earth's 1G and they're able to continue their work properly. She said that for the first time last Friday night, she was able to sleep in her own bed, and that she feels more isolated now than she did when she was in space. Go figure. Well, the United Arab Emirates is continuing to produce satellites. One of the satellites that it is producing is called Hope, or Al-Amal. The Emirates satellite is for Mars exploration and will be launched by the Japanese in July. So we see once again that nations work together in order to achieve a common goal. The United Arab Emirates is also getting ready to pick additional astronauts that they hope will fly into space. Emirates astronaut Hazza Al-Mansouri has already flown to the International Space Station, and they're hoping that they will have more guest astronauts being able to fly in the not-too-distant future. They say that they will start selecting the next 2 astronauts in January of next year in hopes that they'll be able to fly either on a Russian Soyuz or one of the American vehicles headed to the space station. Japanese astronaut Soichi Noguchi, who has already flown on board the shuttle and gone to the space station, is getting ready to fly on the new U.S. crewed Dragon. The vehicle will not fly until next year, and because of the coronavirus, he is training for that using online methods only. This is what many of the astronauts currently are doing as well as video conferencing in order to get proficient at their task. It's with a heavy heart that I announce that over the weekend, at the age of 94, NASA's sixth administrator, Jim Biggs, passed away. Biggs was a key part during the Apollo missions, and he worked into the late 1960s. He guided the shuttle program towards its 3 decades of achievements and set the stage for a diverse and flexible astronaut corps from which we continue to benefit. NASA gave him the highest honors and the fact that he was quite an administrator for the space agency. He had been executive vice president and director of General Dynamics before he went to NASA. SpaceX continues to test vehicles that will be flying in the not too distant future. Over the American astronauts into orbit around May 27th. The target date is May 27th. However, due to the virus and potential testing, that date could slip. And NASA has gone not to gather around the beaches and the areas around the Kennedy Space Center. They're saying due to the coronavirus, we would rather you stayed far away from this. As a result, they're also going to be limiting the number of press people allowed at the Cape. We're hopeful that we'll be one of the ones that will be allowed to continue our tradition of bringing you launches from the Space Center that involve humans. The last time we did that was 11 years ago, when we had the last manned launch from the Cape. Hopefully, we can continue this and be able to bring it to you live on May 27th at about 3:30 in the afternoon. Russia has also stated that they have 2 vehicles that used to serve as the floating launch platform and command center for sea launch that are now in a Russian port. But the company owners say that they have no plans in the near future to launch any satellites from it. The Sea Launch Company was an American company originally, and they were able to launch satellites from the Pacific Ocean right at the equator line. By launching on the equator line, they're able to place a heavier payload into orbit because it takes advantage of the Earth's rotation. Well, Russia has now since purchased that equipment, and they'll use it hopefully in the not too distant future. Tomorrow we'll tell you about SpaceX working on a new rocket and Tory Bruno talking about a big thing that's starting to take shape. So until tomorrow, have a great day, everybody.
That's the latest space report from Randy Siegel, who joins us each weekday, Monday through Friday at 8:30, right here on the Get Up and Go Show with Evan and Bonnie. And now it's time to head on over to Ellie's Downtown Deli, where Bonnie's standing by with the latest and greatest to tank your tummy, as they say. Take it away, Bonnie.
Well, Evan, how about a cool and delicious watermelon salad?
Wow.
Ooh, yeah. You get it a blend of fresh-picked local mixed greens topped with diced fresh watermelon, crumbled feta cheese on this salad, some chopped green onions. Mark adds craisins to it, heirloom tomatoes, and roasted chicken served with a dressing, 2 of your choice. At Ellie's Deli, they're also serving up Mrs. Peters smoked fish dip. Oh, everybody loves Mrs. Peters. Served over a bed of lettuce with chopped onion, tomato, jalapenos, and crackers. Bring home a half-pound chocolate chip cookies from Ellie's Deli. And Ellie's Downtown Deli in Stewart is open with a full menu for pickup or delivery. Ellie's is also making those dinners with a full menu available for any number of guests you might have. Remember, they also have those fabulous desserts as well. Give them a call at 772-781-6605 to order or pick up. They are located at 18 Southeast 6th Street in downtown Stuart, just off Colorado. Call them at 772-781-6605. Ellie's Downtown Deli in Stuart.
Time for the Precious Metals Report, all brought to you by St. Lucie Jewelry and Coin. Gold is opening up at $1,718.20 an ounce, and silver is opening up at $15.27 an ounce. 8:42 right now, the time on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for the final newscast for a Monday. Let's go to the news desk where Bonnie is standing by. Bonnie?
And the coronavirus is responsible for 19 more deaths in Florida since yesterday. The Department of Health announced the state's death toll is now 1,074. There are now more than 31,000 cases statewide. The governor is citing a positive trend in coronavirus testing.
Close to 340,000 individuals that have been tested. And in southern Florida, where we have the bulk of the cases, the ratio of tests per citizen is 1 for every 45 people.
And Governor Ron DeSantis announced yesterday that the rate of positive COVID-19 tests has been steadily declining. 4 days ago, 6% of all tests came back positive, but 3 days ago it dropped to 5%, and 2 days ago it dropped even further to 4.5%. DeSantis says hospitalization rates, too, have also decreased. Before the governor reopens the state, he wants to hear from you. The Reopen Florida Task Force has posted a website for residents to submit public comments. The task force says the comments will be a critical component when it comes to reopening the state. You can find the link at flgov.com/COVID-19. The state unemployment site is set to reopen today.
Shut down for 3 days, the state's unemployment system is again accepting online claims. The website used to submit the claims had to be closed to catch up on the backlog. As of Friday, the state said it had processed 31% of the almost 2 million unemployment claims submitted, but had only paid out 22% of them. I'm Mike Stevens.
It appears that Walt Disney World will be closed for the rest of the year. The Los Angeles Time reports that UBS, a Swiss bank, has informed its clients that Disney will likely wait until January 1st, 2021 to reopen its North American parks. And finally, another news around the state, an Indiana man faces up to 5 years in federal prison for threatening his ex-wife over several years and mailing a dead rat to her Florida home. Romney Christopher Ellis, 55, of Indianapolis, pleaded guilty Thursday in Tampa federal court to making interstate threats and mailing injurious articles, according to court records. According to a criminal complaint, Ellis had engaged in a 4-year-long campaign of harassment against his ex-wife, who lives in Tampa, through text messages, photographs, videos, and mailings. And more than 3 decades after Detroit Pistons stalled Michael Jordan's ascending stardom by bouncing the Chicago Bulls from the playoffs in 3 straight postseasons, Jordan admitted that he still harbors animosity for the Bad Boys team that threatened to derail his success. "Oh, I hated them," Jordan said in episode 3 of the ESPN docuseries The Last Dance. Jordan and the Bulls lost to the Pistons in 5 games in the Eastern Conference semifinals in 1988, in 6 games in the conference finals in 1989, and in 7 games in the conference finals in 1990. Oh, those Pistons. News Time is 8:46. Weather and traffic together are next.
8:47 the time, the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together. Brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
Well, we're not finding any accidents right here. It's just like a nice looking morning, a good morning traffic-wise, no slowdowns. There's your latest look at traffic. And a sunny sky. It's 65 in Jensen Beach. Here's our forecast at WPTV.
This morning here on the Treasure Coast, it is cooler with clearing skies and light northerly winds. This afternoon, sunny and warm with high temperatures in the upper 70s and low 80s and low humidity. Winds will remain breezy out of the north-northeast, and there are no chances for rain in the forecast today. Tonight, clear skies and temperatures in the 50s. I'm WPTV First Alert meteorologist Glenn Glazer on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
You're listening to the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie on Martin County's Heritage Station, AM 1450 WSTU. Now let's get back to the program with Evan and Bonnie.
$8:50 the time right now, and the Get Up and Go show band is playing away in the other room. Want to send this one out to, let's see, who called us this morning? Do you remember?
There was the gentleman from Hutchinson Island,
right?
Charlie. And his lovely wife, yes.
Yeah, he liked our band. He said something about our band, didn't he?
He sure did.
Yeah.
And we had Barbara.
Yeah, Barbara also.
Barbara, who loves baseball, we learned.
Definitely. And Frank.
Yeah.
We had Frank.
Frank from Palm City.
And the question that was asked about who was the doctor on the Mets, it was actually Doc Gooden.
Oh, that name is
known as the doctor, Doc Gooden.
That's familiar.
We've actually interviewed him on this radio program.
That's why he's familiar.
Yeah, there you go.
I think we interviewed him like the first or second day that you were here.
I think it was like the first week. I kind of
Yeah.
hit the ground running, so to speak.
Yeah. I'm like,
You know,
Doc Gooden. Where
came
did
out of
I
the box.
hear that name before?
Yeah, definitely so, without a doubt. Hey, Bonnie, it's time to play a round of Would You Rather. Okay, so I'm going to ask you a question. You'll answer. I'll answer it as well.
Yeah, I was
so you
gonna
don't feel singled
Ask
out.
the question right back at you.
Yeah, you
Okay.
can ask me too. So I'll participate. Not a problem. Would you rather have a high salary or salary and hate your job, or have a low salary and love your job?
I think
Which one?
I think I could handle the high salary hating my job.
You think you can handle the high salary hitting your job?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd be miserable. I'd
think
rather
so?
have lower salary and be happy.
See, there you go. Because that's why we're a little bit different.
Yeah,
Yep.
definitely.
Yep.
All right. Would you rather get caught having an intimate relationship with your best friend's spouse, or get caught stealing money from your best friend? Ooh,
Oh,
that's a good one.
That's a
tough one.
Those are both unethical, and I chose neither.
Yeah,
I
I'll choose neither on that one. I plead the fifth on that
I
one.
don't even want to answer that, Evan.
Okay, all right, very good. These are just I get this stuff from my morning show prep.
Woo.
I don't think of these questions. Disclaimer there. Would you rather laugh when you should cry and cry when you should laugh, or never be able to do neither?
Probably laugh when I should cry.
Well, let me read the question again.
Okay.
Would you rather laugh when you should cry and cry when you should laugh? So it's reversed.
Oh, wow.
Or never be able to do neither.
I think that reversal thing, the first one might work
Really?
for me.
I'll choose neither.
Okay.
Because it's backwards. Because if something is funny, you're going to wind up crying. And if something is sad, you're going to wind up laughing.
Yeah, it'd be kind of strange, but I don't know, to have no emotion whatsoever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Would you rather live the rest of your life in a kid's treehouse or live the rest of your life in the bat cave?
What's the bat cave?
A bat cave. It's just a bat cave.
A real bat cave?
A cave of bats, yeah.
Oh, heavens. I'm in the child's treehouse, of course.
I would choose the bat cave.
Of course, there could be bats up in the tree up there.
I would choose the bat cave.
You would,
because I'm a
really?
huge fan of Batman.
Are you?
Yeah. And
Batman.
show, Batman.
Okay.
Batman and Robin.
All
right. Would you rather pass away by lethal injection or spend the rest of your life in prison with no possibility of parole?
Pass away by lethal injection.
Yeah, same here. Just get it done with, get it over with, because
Yeah.
eventually you're gonna pass away in prison. Would you rather howl loudly like Chewbacca from Star Wars every time you go to the restroom, or yell "It's a disgrace" like President Trump every time you see a wind turbine?
I guess
That's a good one.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like Chewbacca.
I'm going to go with you on Chewbacca.
Okay.
I'm going to go with you on Chewbacca. Would you rather call an important client by the wrong name or forget your fiance's name when you introduce them to your parents?
Probably call a client by the wrong name.
Yeah, I would say so, because if you forget your fiance's name, you're not getting married.
Yeah.
Case in point.
I think you have to be with that fiance a whole lot longer.
Yeah, definitely
and
so.
The parents.
Yeah. Would you rather have the speech patterns of Elmer Fudd or talk like Austin Powers?
Which would you do, Evan?
I would say Elmer Fudd.
Yeah.
Elmer Fudd.
I'll go with Austin Powers.
Okay. All right. Would you rather have skin that turns plaid upon direct contact with the sunlight, or have a vocal deformity where as you try to introduce yourself to someone, the 60s Batman theme blasts out of your mouth?
I'll keep it fun and go with that Batman theme going. I don't want any funky pattern on my skin.
Yeah, I would go with the Batman theme.
Yeah.
I definitely would.
At least it's fun.
Yeah, I definitely would go with the Batman theme. Wow. All right. So, tell me what's on your agenda for today. What's going to happen when you leave? What are you going to do? Where are you going? What's on the plans?
I don't know. Maybe some more shopping. That was my big to do yesterday, grocery shopping.
Okay.
But you always forget that little bit of something, Evan.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, now I bought the steaks. I have the New York strips ready to go, and I bought the charcoal that's ready for the grilling.
Oh, okay. So you don't have a gas grill; you have charcoal.
We have charcoal.
Okay.
But there's always something that you miss.
Okay.
Like say, for instance, I bought guacamoles.
Oh, okay.
And I forgot to get avocados, and I forgot to get the guacamole mix.
Okay. Now, Dylan, my son, likes avocado.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand that whole thing. I don't like it.
Oh, I love
I guess
them.
you have to. It has to be a certain color before you cut it open. Is that true? Is that how that works?
It usually you can like do the squeeze, the finger thing.
The finger poke?
Yeah, the poke.
Okay.
And if if it's too hard, it's not ripe yet. But then you can just bring it home and it can sit on the shelf for like a day and it'll ripen.
All right. Now, what about bananas? What's the general rule for bananas? Because, when you buy bananas at the grocery store, sometimes they're green and they have to get ripe.
Yeah.
But then when they start turning brown, they're all mushy and they're too ripe.
I hate it when they're brown and mushy.
No.
Yeah.
That's kind of not good.
Yeah. So I don't know. I find it best to buy them a little bit pre-ripened.
I get them on the green side, so to speak.
You do too.
Yeah, I get them on the green side.
Yeah.
And then I hang them on the banana holder.
You have a banana holder?
I have a banana holder. Are you kidding?
Fancy.
Yeah, you've never seen one of those?
How fancy
Bonnie.
is that?
Wow.
Yeah.
It's like $1.99.
I've never seen that before.
Yeah, it's a piece of plastic.
Mhm.
It has like a V for the stand for the feet.
Yeah.
And then it has an arm that comes up like this, comes over like this, and then down like this.
Uh-huh.
And you just hang the bananas right on it.
Really?
Yeah.
I bet that's kind of like attractive looking in your kitchen, isn't it?
No, it's not.
Oh, it's not?
No. Just a banana holder.
Yeah.
It's just white.
But with the bananas hanging and dangling
yeah,
and
they're
everything.
just kind of, the bananas are
kinda,
just, they're hanging out.
Yeah.
Not doing nothing.
I mean, I don't know if it's necessary to have a banana holder, but I guess I could buy one.
Everybody's different.
I don't know.
Some people don't like to hold their own bananas, so they get a banana holder. That's how that works.
Yeah. That's right.
Well, there's that sound. You know what that means, don't you?
No, we're trekking. We're trekking home.
We come to another action-packed show ending.
Right. We're going to make some tracks.
Hey, don't forget, tune in to the broadcast tomorrow. Sheriff Willie Snyder's going to be here. Give us an update on what's happening in Martin County. On Wednesday, Martin County Administrator Taryn Krista joins us. And on Thursday, Joe Catchenbone from the Chamber and Stewart Martin County Chamber joins us as well. Then starting next Monday, the Superintendent of Martin County School Board going to be appearing here in the 8 o'clock hour each and every Monday with us. So we have an action-packed week, Bonnie.
Okay.
We say ciao, Maine.
I'm Doris.
And Arriva Dirty, folks. And as always, in the words of Ellen DeGeneres,
be kind to one another.
Be kind to one another, folks. Remember, wash your hands, stay safe, practice social distancing, and stay 6 feet apart from your not significant other, but other people when you're out in public. We're WSTU Stewart, Martin County's Heritage Station. We'll see everybody back here bright and early, 6 a.m. tomorrow. Bye-bye for now.